does, and we're getting fantastic data besides. With all of that in mind, we're going to put a marker right here for our awesome archivist, Dragon Raider X, letting him know we're getting into the game. I'm going to tab over to this screen, turn some music on, and pick the story up right where we left off. In the City of Splendors, the city that will never sleep, things have been a bit up in the air at the moment. Connie, Constance Sirges, has been found out to be a tiefling and is in hiding at none other than Vincent Trench's abode, also known as the Tiger's Eye. Whilst hiding, her brothers have been trying to get the City Watch off of her tail, or otherwise trying to find a way to secure her safety while other things are going on. Salcombe is making good inroads with the Harpers, but has been given a mission not quite to his taste. Likewise, Percival is making a splash in Blackstaff Tower, and so much so he's come under fire from Mert, who has apparently more than a friendly rivalry with one of Vajra Safar. While all that's happening, the Growlhund Villa burnt down in an attack by the Zentarum. A murder of crows fell upon the City of the Dead, and a host of other problems besides. Excuse me. When last we left our heroes, they were separated throughout the city, as they are often, want to do. And Lawrence Parnassus and Salcombe Zumar were in the Tiger's Eye checking up on Vincent Trench, unbeknownst of the fact that Saith Cromley, captain of the City Watch, was calling on his friend regarding a missing persons case. With one of the proprietors of the Steam and Steel, the Waterdeep, in tow, the trio made their way into the Tiger's Eye, and because Connie is under fire and Trench is her protector, Trench had to reveal himself as a Rakshasa and immobilize the Ganassi and force a transformation from our lovable resident blacksmith, or at least to dispel any illusion that he might have upon his person, which he did not. Unfortunately, this revealed him to his old friend Saith Cromley, and something of a standoff occurred between the five parties involved. Just down the street, Percival was consoling a rather sad Rashal the Page-Turner, and Braden Coy, our sneaky boy, was making his way towards Trollskull Alley, where all of this nonsense was going down. And that is precisely where we will pick up our story. Having left one of the leaders of the Zentarum, one Istrid Horn, in Lawrence's apartment, and passing off her exhaustive shopping list to his partner in crime and potential girlfriend, the Black Viper, Braden decided to head to Trollskull Alley to find his comrades, report in, and get back in time for the food delivery. When we fade in from our intro, Master Coy, where are you? Are you in Trollskull Alley yet, or are you still out on the streets of Waterdeep?
It would help if I wasn't muted.
It would help if he wasn't muted, yes.
I completely lost my train of thought now.
Are you on? We know you're on your way to Trollskull Alley. Are you there yet, or?
Right, it's not very far from like Lawrence's place to Trollskull, is it? So probably there by now.
Cool. So it's like it's not late. It's like mid-afternoon. The sun is beating down overhead, and as you catch like the turn into Trollskull Alley, it's one of those arched entryways with Trollskull Manor, which you guys have as your thing, and the Tiger's Eye. Like, that's the entryway to Trollskull Alley. So you see the work crews currently renovating Trollskull Manor. A couple of the workers nod to you. And just as you're about to, put your hand up, how you doing, guys? How's progress? You see flashes of light from the windows in the Tiger's Eye. And a couple of the workers kind of glance at it and then kind of shrug it off. But, well, you know about Vincent Trench, so...
Yeah.
What do you do?
I think let's try not to make a big show of it. Like, quickly move up to the door and knock it.
Okay, so what you have to head... So you have to make 3 turns to get to the Tiger's Eye. You have to go into the alleyway, then you have to turn right, then you have to turn right again to go up to his door. As you pass under the arch, one of the workers walks up to you, like, wipes his brow with a rag, lifts his hat so that you can see his red hair, and then smirks at you, as Rainer Neverember in disguise, like, kind of stops you, like, puts a hand on your chest as you walk. He says,
Aye.
Well, I was hoping I would see one of you at some point. I tell you, the foreman is a killer. Where is everyone?
As usual, spread out. Don't know where Lawrence and Sockham are. Pierceables, I'm pretty sure at Blackstaff Tower.
I heard there was an incident at the... He lowers his voice, obviously. I heard there was an incident at the City of the Dead. That wasn't you, was it?
Not me personally, but it was our group, unfortunately.
So the demon is...
Constance, yeah.
Great.
And my thoughts exactly.
The Harpers know.
Why am I not surprised?
It's Fey Day. We're patrolling the streets to help with this gang war. We hear things. This is not good. I'm sure I don't need to tell you.
I missed that first part.
He says this is not good.
You're right, it's not. It wouldn't surprise me if Mert knows.
I hope, for your sake, that Mert doesn't know. I haven't told him. I don't intend to. But you have to understand, I'm going against my guild.
I mean, hell, you're going against your guild just talking to me. And I can't thank you enough for it. I hate to put you in the position, but...
If it weren't for the fact that you're giving me a place to stay, this would be a very different conversation. I owe you to keep my head down for the moment. From off-screen, we hear, Right, break's over! Back to work! And he sighs, mops his brow again. Manual labor, from a Neverember. Not that I mind, of course. And turns to go.
Right. Right, hold on, give me a second.
Alright. So, Brayden turns back to the Tiger's Eye, and we shuffle down the street to Pierce of Lavarel and Rashal. Are you discussing a book, or are you reading in the corner?
I think... I went to work on my report, so I think I'm just discussing the reports with him, just what all has been going on.
Okay.
Sharing information back and forth.
So when we get audio in the scene, what is Pierce saying? What are you discussing?
Let's see, let me look at my notes real quick. They're not focused on my handout. I think I'm setting one to the side, finish with it. And then pick up another piece of paper, and I have another task that I need to complete, but I don't know how I'm going to do it.
Well, you've always been an enterprising sort. First of all, of course, if there's any way that I can assist you, it will be done.
The thing I need the most right now is just knowledge on what I'm supposed to be finding.
Well, I am something of a repository of eclectic information. Yes. What are you seeking?
I'm supposed to be tracking down some intellect devourers that are in the city. And I have no idea where to begin looking. Or even how to track them to begin with.
Terrible creatures, intellect devourers. They're bothersome, to say the least, and I just... You are dead. You are dead and ceasing to be a personage of any description. And those closest to you are never the wiser. They are abhorrent. And the loss of one's mind is tragedy enough, but to do so and to have them wear your face whilst your soul looks on. There are theories that those taken by an intellect devourer do not go to their hereafter properly unless the intellect devourer is found and destroyed. If it is done quickly enough, then it's possible to revive the person, but there's no healing magic for the endeavor, and it is rather what finally did in Master War Dragon, I think.
He nods in agreement the whole time. There's Foster Safar said, I'm sorry, I misspoke. Pierce would say, the Black Staff informed me that I need to track down ones that were in the city, and I have very few days to even find them.
A proper resurrection spell is only active for less than a 10-day, unfortunately. And that is 10-day after the intellect devourer has made its grisly nesting, you might say. As far as tracking and finding the scourge, a Herculean task for anyone. I am possible, especially when I should correct that the intellect devourer has use of the host. He shudders. His memories and abilities. I could be an intellect devourer, and you would never know. Far greater, I think, to find where they are coming from and eliminate the trafficking and, if possible, the source.
He nods.
The damage is unfortunately done. There's thousands of souls in Waterdeep at any given time, permanent residents or visitors.
You're right. There's no way we'd be able to find. It's like a needle in a haystack.
By the arcanes, Master Percival, the docks alone have hundreds of sailors coming and going at all hours. It's next to impossible to do so in the time limit, unless of course you have.
And even so, say they leave Waterdeep.
Precisely.
They're already gone before we even know they were there.
Far better, I think, to mitigate future damages than make a perception check while we're all talking.
Okay.
Than to try to rectify the offending tumor, as it were.
So, one of the only places we could even, the only place I can imagine looking would be the sewers. Do you have a map? Is there any way that a map exists of them?
Bren has a map of the sewers.
Certainly, masks that exist of this was public access. Besides, I do not currently have in my possession any copies, or relevant copies, I should say, of such things. I have a few dated works, nothing contemporary, but the Department of Records should give you. Give anyone so inclined. You need to know where the sewer lines are to make renovations to one cellar, or break ground on new construction, or link to the existing sewer. I am aware. Well, my point being that your authority in Force Grey likely affords you even more such access should you require it. I am afforded similar access and could make the requisite trip to you as a favor, certainly, if you have more pressing matters than to trouble yourself at the hold of records.
He nods and says, I really appreciate it, Rochelle. You're a really good friend to us, despite us only being here for so little time.
I have no great contribution to your success or to any of the innumerable adventurers that come and go from the city proper and the yawning portal in specific. Few still know of our little bit of paradise here in Troll Skull Alley. I do good business, certainly, but it's far from glamorous. In my way, I like to think that I'm going on my own grand adventure when I find that esoteric piece of knowledge that someone needs to slay the proverbial dragon, as it were. I try to do what is right by those close to me, and to those who require assistance. I seek to lend a claw, if I am so able. Rather disinclined to put myself in harm's way, but of course, should the situation call for it, if Miss Gambleson is revealed in her fiendish nature, or perhaps the twins have misappropriated hatred of giants, rather oppressive creatures. Giants. Waterdeep has a somewhat sordid history with giant opposition.
I actually found a tomb in the City of the Dead while we were searching that had giant script on it.
Giant script? Really? I can't say that I'm familiar with such a place, but certainly warrants investigation. You're certain it's a product of giants?
I don't know if it was made by giants, but I recognize giant script.
There are several of the more illuminated personages, cultures that use the giant script, scribblary and alphabet in their writings, not the least of which the Adwar of the north and the Goliath clans besides.
I'm fairly certain it was it mentioned it was a very specific clan as well. The name escapes me right now, but it
both Adwar and giants are known to roam in clans. It's true.
Mm-hmm.
I would be more than delighted to help you unravel this mystery. Do you think you could find it again if you were
I could, definitely.
peruse the sepulchres and mausoleums of the city? I would gratefully accompany you, providing, of course, that I do not have pressing business here at the treasure.
He nods. I think that'd be. I think that'd be great. Honestly.
Shall
Hmm?
I was just going to address that we shall make it a proverbial date then. Yes.
He nods. That's if the others don't go there first
Well,
and find out all there is to know.
I am certain that for men such as the likes of us, Master Averil, there will always be more to learn from a situation. Not to discredit your colleagues, but academically and scholastically speaking, I would dare say that you are the eldest by no small margin. Yes.
The eldest? I'm actually the youngest of the group.
Academically speaking, Master Averil.
Oh. Yeah. I would be inclined to agree with you.
There are innumerable institutions of higher learning in Waterdeep and the surrounding area, to say nothing of its sister cities and other such places around our land, realm, if you will. Worthy, all of them, but most of your traveling companions seem rather disinclined, to the degree, I should specify, to the degree that you and I share or seem to share a passion for gleaning information from the darkest resources where it dare make its web.
He nods. I actually have one more thing I want to ask you.
I am, as ever, at your disposal. Yes.
Do you happen to have a scroll for... I can't recall the name of it. It's a lock, essentially. It's...
There are several such spells. Mordenkainen was rather pervasive with spells that would create a lock in space that would open up into a dimension of the wizard's crafting. There are
I meant more like
spells
keeping people out of things.
Keeping people out of things. There is the ubiquitous arcane lock.
That's
are
it.
Various alarms. Arcane lock is useful for not only keeping one's tome beyond the reach of dark-minded wizards, but for closing a portal, such as a window or a door, or keeping out listeners besides.
Yeah, would you happen to have a scroll for that spell?
I believe I could obtain one. I am uncertain if I have one in stock right now. It's a rather simple spell. Most of our ilk are keen enough to copy it into their make. It's not particularly sought after, but if I don't have one, it would be a matter of a few days and a bit of ink to procure one for you. I'm familiar with the spell myself.
I would greatly appreciate it, or rather, would it be possible for me to copy it from your note?
I rather certain that you could not read my personal shorthand, Master Avril, in which I keep my own spell notes. It's a bit
You just
more
asked a dragon
convenient.
who hoards information if you can have some of his information.
But I can certainly make legible notes for you. Yes.
If it's an issue of language, if you write your notes in Draconic, I can still read it.
It is a matter of privacy bordering on paranoia, Master Avril. I will gladly show you my spellbook, but I am largely confident that you will not be able to read it, as it is written in a shorthand of my own devising. Yes, I will concede that the Draconic alphabet is usefully employed, but even still, it is mutated in a way as to increase security of my own devices.
Actually, I was thinking of doing such a thing myself.
Creating a cipher.
Yes, actually.
Ah.
Do you have any tips for doing that?
I have several tomes on the subject that I have acquired over the years. I employed bits and pieces from each one, but what might be useful to me would be potentially disastrous for you. I could offer you the sources for a modest fee, or permanent copies thereof for a greater one. Or you could equally seek out the individual that assisted me in that matter. Strikingly good with ciphers. Our master Fala Lafalier. Yes.
Lafalier. We haven't been able to find her recently. She's just kind of up and vanished, it seems.
Yes. Rather grateful I am that I got the recipe for the skin ointment before their disappearance. I do hope they are well in whatever clime they find themselves, and should they have need, I hope that there is a nightlight nearby.
I think that's all I got, really, with Rashal.
I shall find the Sephiric tomes for you momentarily, if there is nothing else to require. I will also find my spellbook. I have it here somewhere. Should be a small matter. You can peruse it if you wish, though I am certain it will not be terribly useful. I would caution, Master Avril, there are collected works in my book that you may find a bit daunting. Yes, I would recommend, if you find any such thing, if my cipher is not quite as deceptive as I had hoped, that you would not strain yourself and risk injury to yourself or destruction to my property. You understand?
He nods.
Right.
I completely understand.
I shall begin my journey, my own adventure into the stacks, and hopefully it shall yield most useful fruit for the wounds of ailing knowledge. Yes. I will leave you to your reports and report to you soon enough. And he toddles away.
I think I just get back to
writing your reports.
Yeah, dotting I's, crossing T's.
So we fade back over to Delta.
I'm here.
Hello, Delta.
Hello. Sorry about that.
My overlay is fucked because apparently Brightwind crashed, but that's okay.
I was just about to ask if you want me to grab somebody.
Yeah, if you wouldn't mind. Just have somebody pop in, pretend to be Brightwind. That'd be great for the sake of the overlay. Anyway, so you leave Rainier to get back to work, and you turn towards the Tiger's Eye, you notice that the door is ajar. It's not all the way closed.
And just in case, like, then with a flash, probably not a good idea just to walk in.
Right, probably
and
not.
then just like walk up to it and like knock.
Okay,
like,
so
try not to.
So you go to raise your hand to knock on the door, and we crossfade over to the inside of the room where things are a bit tenser and have been for a little bit. Avi is on the floor with Lawrence kneeling like behind him. Salcom is behind both of them unless he's moved, like with his back to the ajar door. You didn't manage to close it fully when everything was going wrong, Salcom. We see Vincent Trench in his human form, standing at the base of the stairs, facing the room, and Seth Cromley, one of the captains of the City Watch, kind of with his sword in his hand, pointed it at Vincent Trench. Cromley is sweating. He appears to be shaking a bit from the sword tips. The sword tip is betraying his nervousness, and Trench has his hands up. He's got his hands up. He's pointing, like, kind of like making like the placating gesture. And we fade back in on the scene before Braden walks up. Sayeth is like lowering his sword to the floor, and he says, "All right, Vincent. I see that you are the man that I know. There's no reason for this to get disastrous, but it's a lot. It's a lot to take in. Have you been? Was there ever a Vincent Trench?" Yes, Sayeth, there is a Vincent Trench. There's always been a Vincent Trench. I, like, pats his chest, am Vincent Trench. I am a few things besides. I won't deny that, but it's the same person. And Cromley nods. You see him glance at the door. He sheaths his sword. He says, "All right. I'm sure you have your reasons. You're protecting the girl." Trench nods. But Rockensock, you see his eyes light up. His eyes like start glowing blue. And Sayeth immediately like tenses. He's like, "What are you doing, Vincent? My heart can't take a great deal more." And Trench, his body language begins to mimic Sayeth. And Trench says, "Sayeth, think about what you're planning. Think about what you're doing. You don't have to do that." What are the two of you doing?
I'm still probably tending to Avi, but I've also got an eye on
You probably
Trench.
heard the tension ratchet up.
Yeah, so Lawrence is not in a good way right now.
No.
It's oh hell. Plus, he already took the psychic hit from Trench in the first place.
Yes, you got breathed pretty hard.
Yeah, I got waxed. I'm not down by any measure, but
No.
I'm hurting a little bit.
Yep.
So it's like, so Lawrence is very nervously watching both of them.
I think Ave quietly to you in Primordial, he says, "Lawrence, what's happening? I thought the captain was standing down."
And in Primordial, right back, he'd probably mutter, "Mind reader."
Okay, Salk, what are you doing?
Gamzee's having
Talk, Gamzee.
Gamzee, push
Gamzee's
it up.
having all the computer trouble tonight.
There you go. Now we can hear you. What's up?
I've pushed it over to everything.
Salcom's got a hand on Avi to cast Cure Wounds,
Okay.
and he's also got his footing set to run between the captain and Vincent to at least try to, if they decide.
Unless you move forward right now, there is no way you can cross that distance before one of them gets to the other. They're about 8 feet apart. You're about 15 feet away.
It's cast Cure Wounds and step up, ready to run in.
Okay, go ahead and cast your spell. I remind you, Avi is a cleric if you want to hold on to your spell slots.
That's true.
You know Avi's a cleric, like that's come up previously.
Yeah, that's true. I think he's just gonna step up close enough that if he has to, he can run between them.
Okay, so you move up in front of Avi, and Sayeth is like very slowly, like keeping his body oriented towards Trench. He's like sidestepping towards the door. And he says, "I assure you, Vincent, I don't know what the matter is. I need to go and make a report. Apparently the matter with the girl was a misunderstanding, and surely we all want the same thing." And Trench is like taking a step toward him. He's like, "Sayeth, I know where you're going. Don't do that. Don't make me do something I'm going to regret." You're upset, Vincent. I see that clearly. I see that there's a great many potential customers at your door. I'm going to presume that you did not mean to threaten an officer of the watch. An officer of the watch? You're my friend, Cromley! Or he said, "Sayeth. You're my friend, Sayeth. Don't do this." I'm sure I don't know what you mean. And yeah, Vincent is going to take his Rakshasa form, and Sayeth is going to have to make a will save.
Oh boy.
Oh.
So let me...
I've never wanted someone to fail a will save more.
Right? So Vincent's save is that. Oh boy. Okay. So... Sok, do you jump in? You see, like, there's a flash of light, there's the Rakshasa fiend is standing there, his eyes are still, like, lit up, he holds a hand out to Sayeth. Do you jump in?
Probably.
Do you... What's your intention?
Try and step in the way of whatever's happening if he can.
And Lawrence has stepped up to, put Avi behind him. Because...
Okay.
Malcolm has no context for this. He did not know Vincent Trench was a Rakshasa.
Make a wisdom saving throw. Sockham. Okay. I think it's fair Vince is going to make a concentration check, because you're going to try to, like, jump in front of him. Are you going to, like, what specifically are you trying to do? You're trying to pull his arm down? Are you trying to knock him over? Are you hitting him with Azure Edge? What are you doing specifically?
Mostly trying to get in the way more than stop him.
Like, I need to know specific, like, you're only interposing yourself between the two of them?
He doesn't want to make things worse, but
that is, regardless, you are going to make things worse if you do that. Like,
that's entirely true. But I guess he's gonna, like, try and move his arm in case, like.
Okay,
he's got his arm out.
Basically,
like
what I'm saying is this an attack roll? Is this a grapple check? Like, are you doing anything to disrupt Vince's concentration?
This is a shove his arm out away from.
Okay. So, roll initiative. I need to see who acts first. Okay.
Oh boy.
You rolled really, really well. Trench rolled substantially better.
I assumed.
I'm still gonna make the concentration saving throw, but Trench will act first. What would you say is a reasonable, I haven't managed to touch you yet, but I'm gonna try to make myself big and make a scary noise and make you not cast your spell DC. Where are we at on that? I'm thinking somewhere like 12, 13. Where are you at?
I feel that, yeah.
Okay. Trench beat that by more than 5. So what happens is you jump in front of him, you grab his arm, he puts his other arm on you, shoves you aside, finishes the spell, and Cromley just falls over. Just eyes roll back in his head like somebody just cast Petrificus Totalis on him, and he just hits the floor.
I mean, Lawrence seeing that would be fuck, and rushes over to Cromley and makes sure he's not dead.
Okay, so a lot of things happens at once. You get up, you go to you rush over to Cromley. Avi is going to try to stop you. Avi's going to try to physically stop you. At the same time, Vince is grappling with Salk. I don't know what size category a Rakshasa is. Oh, medium. Okay. So you're both medium. Make an athletics check, Salkum. Okay. So, I'm sorry, friend. So, Vincent, with that hand that he shoved you aside with, just takes you over the desk. So, Lawrence, you're like, oh fuck, say it. You see, Salkum, big boy Salkum, just get fucking Darth Vadered across the room.
I was going to say, that was probably like a judo throw or something.
No, it was one hand.
Wow.
Like he was already in motion, going in that direction. He had to go towards the desk to get in front of Vince, and Vince just put his left hand on Sock's left shoulder and just made him continue going with a push, and he just toppled over the desk and hit the floor.
Makes sense. Sock's never been one for mobile footing.
Does someone rattling change?
Not that I know of.
I was hearing something.
It sounded like it.
I'm hearing it too.
1 second.
Oh.
I say we blame Pierce.
Yes, exactly.
I just muted and took my headset off, and I don't hear anything. So
Yeah, sounds like
It's only every once in a while I've been hearing.
could it be the background?
No.
No, it's like the clink of coins.
Sorry.
Oh,
There we go.
apparently it's nightfall. There we go. That would explain why I didn't hear
Nightfall.
anything. So Salk, you're picking yourself up off the floor. Are you going to resist Avi holding you back, Lawrence?
Yeah, honestly, because it's like,
So you're going to pull away from Avi.
yeah.
Okay, I'm going to need opposed athletics checks then.
When Connie finally finds out all this happened, she's gonna feel like shit.
Oh,
I mean, she's probably waking up from all the banging around.
Not yet. Well, maybe with Salk hitting the floor. Okay.
You want me to roll something, or?
In a minute, because you still have to, take a couple seconds to wake up, and this is all happening in the span of about 5 seconds.
Right.
It's done. What the hell?
So you pull away from Avi, you feel him, grab at you, you're like, no, I need to go do this. So you run over to Sayeth. At the same time, the door opens behind you. Salk is picking himself up off the floor, and Trench is also running over to Sayeth. The only person who can act immediately is Lawrence. Lawrence, from your perspective, Vincent Trench rushes you.
I mean, this is gonna hurt, but Lawrence would probably try to brace. Just like, oh crap, I'm gonna get tackled.
So you just, put your feet down and, okay. So Trench just goes right past you, and he kneels down by Sayeth, and he just starts talking. And he's doing that, Jafar with the snake staff type of talking.
Mm-hmm.
And when he starts talking, Sayeth's eyes snap open. And he's just got this unblinking gaze going on. So you see that. You can stop him if you like. Salk, you're on your feet. Brayden, you're at the door. You see in your immediate vicinity, Avi, like the dude from the Seam of Steel, the Water Ganassi, on his back, well, in a sitting position at this point, right in front of the door. His back is to you. Lawrence is over to the left, or over to the right, sorry, by the windows, blinking, like, confusedly.
Like,
Vincent Trench, in his Rakshasa form, is kneeling and doing the like, Dementor thing to Saith Cromley, who seems to be unconscious, or semi-trance-like, and Stalkum is getting to his feet from behind Vincent Trench's desk in a flurry of paper. Brayden, what do you do?
I think, seeing that, I think you just walk in, quickly close the door, and like that. How do I describe it?
What the hell's going on?
The way like somebody quickly like comes in a door and slams it behind them.
Yeah.
Right, like do that gesture, like turn around and be like, okay, what the fuck happened here?
Okay, so the sound of the slamming door has gotten Avi onto his feet. He looks winded when he turns to you. Looks a little bit pale, like he's catching his breath. And he starts to say something, but if either of the boys speak up first, he'll let them.
Like, he's got his hand on his rapier, like ready to take it out just in case he needs to.
Lawrence would be looking over at Stalk, like, I know you're hurt, go up and get Connie.
Like, are either of you doing anything about fucking Jafar over in the corner there?
I mean, Lawrence is gonna kneel down, like, across from Trench.
Are you physically stopping him from whatever the fuck he's doing?
Not yet.
Okay.
But, I figure...
Okay. Pause. Sock, are you physically stopping him from whatever the fuck he's doing? Push to talk, Gamzee.
Push to talk, my friend.
Sockham doesn't know a great deal of what the fuck just happened.
Right.
And I think his mind immediately whips back to family as a default. So he's gonna rush upstairs to find.
You don't know Connie's upstairs.
I thought we got told that.
Nope. You know she's at Trench's.
Yeah, so...
You don't know she's upstairs.
That's fair.
The only person who knows she's upstairs is Pierce.
Thanks, pal.
Now, granted, it's not a stretch. She's not down here. There's only so many places she can be. I will concede that point. However, demon!
Yeah.
Rakshasas are terrifying. It's a big, 9-foot-tall tiger man.
The thoughts that come to mind are either things look like they're calming down, or this is bad, time to bear.
Things do not look like they're calming down. The big scary tiger demon is doing the fucking, Ka from the Jungle Book thing to a city watch guy. You call that calming down?
I mean, no one's throwing hands anymore.
He wasn't throwing hands before. I need to know if you're physically stopping Trench.
I don't think so.
Okay. So then Avi looks at you, Brayton, and he says, "Small problem. That one."
He just looks around and just like, that's an understatement.
We apparently barged in, and Master Trench here was under supposition that assassins were coming for, Constance. He revealed himself to be that. I'm assuming by your face that this is not a surprise to you. I knew about it. I live here. And apparently it was a surprise to our City Watch officer there, who apparently has a history with... And at this point, Trench says audibly, "Do you mind?" I was not aware that you required quiet. Boys?
Yeah,
Lawrence, make an
Lord-
Arcana check.
Oh boy.
You said you're kneeling beside him. Make an Arcana check. Okay, so Trench is going. Trench is just like talking to Saya, and like he's speaking common. He's just speaking lowly, and he's saying things like, "You took a hit on the head. You haven't eaten enough this afternoon. You passed out on the floor, and we had to go and get Avi to wake you up."
Basically implanting a suggestion.
That's what it sounds like. It sounds like hypnosis.
And Lawrence nods, stands, and says, I think things will be okay. Let's go. Let's give Vincent some room to work.
Now you can make a perception check, Connie.
Cool.
You have disadvantage because you're asleep.
Perception.
But you've also got wisdom for days, so we'll see. You had wisdom for days.
Oh dear.
So wise and so smart, yet we can't notice what's going on around us.
You're right. Yep, it's a problem. So yeah, so you stand up and you're like, right, and then obviously like gesturing the three of you towards the door, like, let's go.
I mean, Lawrence would probably go up and just say, I'll go get Sock.
Has Sock left the room yet?
Salk is at the back of the room behind Vincent's desk. He has not moved yet.
Okay, I wasn't sure. If he, it'd be, gesturing to Sock, like, come on, we'll, come back later.
Push to talk, Gamzee.
Sock's rocking the paw face with a hand on the machete.
I
doesn't-
think Braden looks like it with the don't. That's a bad idea.
I mean, Lawrence is giving the same look, like,
And just like, go on, move. I'll fill you in a second.
Bill, if Braden's actually saying that, he'll definitely take his hand off the machete and start moving.
Okay. So the four of you, Avi, Lawrence, Braden, and Salcom, go outside, close the door. Avi immediately like exhales, like rubs his neck. I'll just get my bowl later, I think. Right. I feel like this is my fault.
I think Braden's just standing there like, what?
Apparently it's open season on Constance, and well, my dear Lawrence and his elder brother invited me along to make certain that she was well, and someone had put our illustrious Master Trench on alert, it seems.
I think Braden just like sizes, like, well, considering most of the site would probably like
Yes,
confuse her for a
They
demon.
neglected to tell me that Master Trench was on alert or that he had company. Granted, I let myself in, but the results are less than fortuitous, I think. Wouldn't you say, Lawrence?
and Lawrence has his arms full, just shaking his head like, oh, what a mess.
You took quite a fall there. Do you need assistance, Salcom?
I'm fine. Thank you. But that was really Vincent Trench. I'm having a very difficult time believing that.
Yeah, no, it's
Unless it was a
Lawrence
different
just
Rakshasa,
sighs.
yes.
It's so wonderful that this seems to be common knowledge amongst my brothers and temporary father figure, and I was never let aware.
Avi puts both fists on his hips. Temporary?
Lawrence gives Avi a look like, and he's probably trying to fight off a blush, like, oh, it's that way, is it?
I think like Braden would clear his throat. It's like, well, anyway, less people knowing him what he is, the better.
No,
Do you not think he would-
I'm sorry. Temporary?
And Lawrence gives this big smile on his face, like, Master Avi.
I'm going to be here forever. I may return someday, but I'm not going to be here forever.
And I will
Meanwhile,
not stop being your
Ring,
mother.
I nearly went bare.
Nothing I haven't seen before.
and Lawrence actually probably loses it laughing, like, not that kind of bear.
He doesn't know that.
Master Avi,
Bear!
I made contact with my ancestral after through ritual that Constance enacted. Myself and my brother have gained abilities thanks to our contact with said place. I can literally become a bear man.
Sockbum, in case you forgot, you'd done that when the fireball went off.
In public, no less.
Don't believe Avi was one of the ones that saw it. Embrick, I know, did.
Wasn't Avi
Yes,
there?
because that man is capable of keeping anything from me.
And Lawrence just rolls his eyes, like, yeah, that's about right.
Albie just raises an eyebrow, like, really?
Lawrence just shrugs at that point, like, yeah, I've got nothing at this point. Master Avi, are you okay?
Fine. No lasting damage. Well, no. That was good food that... Well, granted, Trench technically did it, but he wags a finger at Sonkum. You knocked the bowl off the desk!
I was attempting to, what in my mind, believed was a man's life.
Do you know how long it takes me to cook?
Lawrence gets a smile on his face. He says, I can always lend a hand if you'd like.
Absolutely not. You're needed at the forge. Especially if I'm in the kitchen.
Well...
And Lawrence raises a finger. Right, I'll go help Master Embrick. And he probably just starts heading for the forge.
So you take a step away, and Avi goes, Embrick is being punished.
Ah, I see.
If that's the case, Avi, if it is of such high importance to you, which I understand because it is fantastic cooking, you have every right to decide whatever punishment may come to me for it.
I love the idea that Avi, like, Trench has those, like, 3 stone steps that go up to his door. I love the idea that Sockham is on the top one and Avi is on the middle one, and he takes a step up and he's still shorter than Sockham.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
And he just, like, scowls at you for a minute and then reaches up and, like, pinches your cheeks, and he says, I could never stay angry at one of my boys.
And Lawrence has probably lost the entire battle to not have a huge freaking smile on his face.
I think Sockham's rubbing his cheeks like, never had someone do that before, Al.
And Lawrence is grinning like a damn idiot, just like, oh boy. Well, not the only one that's been adopted at this point.
But I'm neglecting my responsibilities. And he turns to Brayden, and he's got that look on his face that you have never seen, actually, Brayden, because your mom is kind of a bitch. He's got that, but he gives you this look that you don't fully know what it is, and he says, you had no way of knowing we were at Trenches, unless you went to go and see Embrick first, but he'd be with you in that case. Did you need something from our local private investigator? Someone hurt? Someone missing? I hope not. Where's Percival?
Percival, probably still at Blackstaff, knowing him. As for why I'm here, I was actually coming to make sure these two could actually find Connie. Make sure she was alright.
Well, I can definitively say that since they've been in my presence, we have not seen hide nor hair of your sister.
Well, you seem to have found where she was.
Apparently.
I would probably suggest leaving it for a bit till Trench says we can come back in.
I quite agree. I have some leftovers. Have you boys had lunch?
And it's probably at this point, it's the anime thing where Lawrence's stomach growls.
Yeah, exactly. And And Avi scowls at you.
I mean, Lawrence would have the decency to look embarrassed. Because, it's been almost 5 years in Waterdeep.
Weren't you just
He
traipsing
knows.
back to forge work on an empty stomach, Lawrence?
Sorry, Mr. Avi.
I think Bren rubs the back of his neck. Is the watch guy going to be alright?
Is that
You
really
look
our
kind of-
concern right now? Oh, more to the point, is there anything we can do?
Cromley's a bit of a bastard, but I see it as a bit of a responsibility to make sure the people of Waterdeep are safe. So
You
yes,
know
I'd
him.
say- I've interacted before.
Lawrence probably giving Salk a look like, excuse?
I mean, I've seen him about, coming and going from the Tiger's Eye with other watch members, but I don't know his name. I tried to stay on the correct side of the line. He kind of glances at Brayden when he says that.
I let Brain just ignores it. I think Brain just ignores it.
So, was that a yes to lunch? You don't have a choice, my dear boy, but your brothers might have pressing business.
And Lawrence looks, embarrassed as hell, like, right.
What time is it? Looking
Like
up at
3:30, 4 at the most.
in the afternoon.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. So it's. I think it look up and I'll have somewhere to be for low sun, but I'm sure I can stay for lunch if I'm welcome.
Why wouldn't you be welcome? And he gives you the look like, daughter, is there something you need to tell me?
Right. I think I had the words there and they went. It's just common courtesy to ask.
And Avi just looks at Sarkum expectantly.
If you don't mind the ramblings of a mad child as he works something out during, I'd love to.
I think Avi glances at Lawrence briefly and then says, I'm quite practiced.
And Lawrence will just, look down like, oh, crap.
I have some wonderful portraits of Lawrence. You need to see them. Come along.
Oh no!
I love the implications.
I mean, before we just, smash cut, it'd probably be, Master Avi, you promised!
Yeah, so I think it's reasonable that Pierce steps outside of the Bookworm's treasure just to get something or get a breath of fresh air or whatever, and you see three of your brothers and Avi walking away from the Tiger's Eye. They all look disheveled in some way, Brayden the least of which.
How far am I from them?
Like 20 feet. The Bookworm's treasure is beside the Tiger's Eye. Trollskull Alley is not that big.
I think he's gonna wait, why were you, why? Hey, Lawrence, Brayden, what's your, when did you?
Avi turns and scowls at you when you don't greet him.
I mean, Lawrence would turn and be like, oh, hi, Pierce.
Wasn't expecting you to be here.
Lawrence would be looking from Pierce to Salk and back, like, are we gonna have another throwdown here? Or attempted throwdown?
And, I didn't see you at first. Hello, what title would you use? Just Avi?
You could call him Avi, you could call him Master Avi, you could call him Mr. Avi.
What time is it?
3:30, 4 o'clock.
Good afternoon, Avi.
Raises
didn't
an
hear it
eyebrow
first.
slightly when you say that.
Lawrence face falling behind him.
I was just having the KnightLites over for lunch. You'll be joining us, won't you? I made baklava. Somehow you get the impression it's not a request.
Voluntold is the term.
The power of father compels you.
The
Something
power
like
of baklava compels you is what that does.
Let me leave a note on Rochelle's desk and I'll be right over, okay? Or rather, go find him.
that. If you're doing some work for our trusty bookworm, is everything all right?
I was just spending some time over here writing my reports for the Black Staff.
You've joined Force Grey. Wonderful. You missed our first luncheon.
Then I'll be happy to join you for this one.
Wonderful. I have so much to ask you.
And Lawrence gives him this look like, run, you're doomed.
Just pop over to the Steam and Steel, make no mention to the flagging fire giant at the forge, the heart of one anyway, and make your way upstairs. We'll know to expect you.
Okay. And he's gonna step back inside and go find Rochelle and let him know that he's going over there.
Meanwhile, Avi leads the three of you back to the Steam and Steel, and Embrick is still hammering away at the anvil. He kind of looks up and mops his brow, and he starts to say something, and all Avi says is, "I believe we still have orders, Embrick." And Embrick sighs and goes back to work as the three of you get led inside.
I mean, Lawrence is pointedly not looking Embrick's way because, it's Lawrence. He wants to help.
I'm still confused on what Embrick did.
Embrick tried to sidle a day and a half's worth of work on Lawrence.
Also, he could, make measurements of Connie's bear form, among other things.
So he could go play. Avi is punishing Embrick. So, Pierce, you pop back inside the bookworm's treasure. And I think, it's not big. The bookworm's treasure is not, rows upon rows of manuscripts that you could get lost in. But all the same, Rochelle has, done up a little traveling cloak with a hood, and he has a little hooded lantern that he's, looking through the books with.
Oh my god, that's cute. That sounds adorable as shit.
He's cosplaying as an adventurer. It's great.
It's so good. I love it.
We need art of Rochelle.
We do need art of Rochelle.
Little Red Riding Hood.
I think we can get art made if it's
Hold on, I might be able to find something.
It would have to be fan art, and we couldn't sell it, and I couldn't show it on stream.
That's true.
I mean, the Discord exists for a reason.
True.
Yeah, the Discord does exist.
Anyway.
Hey, Rochelle?
Yes. And, snuffs the lantern and, walks out, lowers his hood. Break time already?
I was actually just coming to let you know that I'm gonna step out for a little bit.
Oh.
I'll be back in 1 or 2 hours.
Is everything all right? If you need a stout sword arm at your back, I can assist you. I'm already dressed for the occasion.
I think I'm just gonna go get lunch.
Oh, would you anywhere in mind?
And
toddles over to the desk and puts the counter, puts the lantern down, starts rummaging through the till.
I was actually invited to go eat with Avi and Lawrence. I could ask them if you'd like to come, if you'd be welcome. I'm sure you would.
Wait,
Closes
she
up
said
the
the
till.
KnightLites. She said the KnightLites. Rochelle is a KnightLite.
do with some lunch if it wouldn't impose.
I can go ask.
I am capable of accompanying you and asking for myself, Master Averill.
Okay. Well, if you'd like to take a break from looking through the books, let's go.
Yes, I think I've rather successfully cleared this misbegotten temple of its kobold infestation. Lead on!
And I love this so much. And honestly, I think food would cheer Tiny the droopy born up.
Droopy born, yes.
So yeah, just make the way over.
Okay. Connie, make a perception check.
Okay.
With disadvantage.
Perception.
You've taken a long rest at this point, so let's see if you wake up. I this is too good not to, and you've been down for a while. So I think, like, as they leave, Salk closes the door gently, and that's what wakes you up.
Nice.
You
What
just
was
sit
that? I did-
bolt upright in bed, like holding the sheet to your chest.
Sit up, look around. Oh right, Trench's office. Like, taking a listen downstairs, like,
You hear the sounds of one person talking?
can I overhear?
No.
Oh,
Can
real
uh,
quick before I forget.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Let me reset a few things real quick.
Yep.
additional question:
Yes.
can she make out who it is?
Yeah, it sounds like Trench.
Okay.
Huh.
I was just curious if it was mumbling or specific mumbling.
I'm gonna take a closer listen to try and figure out if there's someone he's talking to or if he's talking to
He is
himself.
definitely talking to someone, but you don't hear another voice.
So she's not gonna go downstairs, but I think curiosity is gonna get the best of her,
Okay.
and she's gonna sneaky her way on over to see if she can eavesdrop better from elsewhere.
Make a stealth check.
This
Are-
is gonna go poorly
Are
because
you
it's
doing
Connie.
this as a Connie, or are you doing this as an Aminal?
I think I'm doing this as a Connie.
Okay, make a stealth check.
She just woke up. She's still groggy. She's not thinking
Oh,
about it.
then with disadvantage.
Lovely.
The good news is you don't fall down the stairs.
Okay.
The bad news is when you get to the point where you can see the office is trash. It looks like there was a fight. Like, the furniture is askew, the floor is all scuffed up, there's papers everywhere. Smells like curry chicken is like somewhere in here, probably on the floor. There's like a grease stain that you can just kind of see from the position on the stairs. And Sayeth Cromley is passed out over 3 chairs, and Trench is just like standing over him talking in his human form.
Okay, that's a twist.
I like the idea that you
so-
say that out loud.
What?
I like the idea that you say that out loud.
What a twist!
On the one hand, I really don't want to. On the other hand, that's completely in character at this point.
And you also made that check. Like,
Yeah. Yeah,
I think-
okay.
So I think you're like, oh, that's a twist. And Trench immediately like whips around. You see his eyes light up and then fade again. And he says,
Hands immediately over mouth, like, I shouldn't have said that.
"Did I wake you?"
I don't think so. Is what happened? Is
He's not
everything
dead.
okay?
Trench looks exhausted.
I really hope this wasn't my fault, whatever that was.
I used a great deal more magic than I should have. I don't suppose you could get my pipe out of my desk.
Yeah, I can do that. Head down the stairs, start fumbling with the pipe. make sure it's stocked up, and then-
There's a bowl. There's like a clay bowl on the floor, upturned, and there's like couscous or something like spilling out around it.
No.
The desk is like there's like a rut on the ground where the desk usually is. The desk is pushed back about 8 inches from where it should be, and there's nothing on top of it.
Right. Pipe, desk, fumbling to get it stuffed and lit, and she'll pass it to him.
Takes a big pull from it. Thank you, Constance. You're safe. That's what's important.
I really hope this wasn't my fault. Is everyone okay?
No, they're not okay. You're sorry. Your elder brother, he's had some trauma. The master of the Steam and Steel has probably got a neck injury, and this one is very nearly dead.
Oh shit. And I think he takes that as a cue to like, oh, is he okay? Like, can I do anything to help? Is he bleeding out? Is he concussed? Blah 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 blah.
He's unconscious. I thought it was the best course of action.
What happened?
He saw my face.
That'll do it. Yep, that'll do it. Wait, isn't that Crowley?
Yes, Cromley. Saith Cromley,
right.
an old friend of mine. He came to discuss business after I was warned that people were looking for you. Your brothers barged in, well, more accurately, Avi barged in. And I did what I had to do to keep you safe.
I'm so sorry.
He's suffering the effects of the memory charm, which is preferable over tearing his throat out, which I almost had to do. I would have been very upset with you if I'd had to do that.
I'm so sorry. This is all my fault. I think being unable to do anything about what happens, I think she just doubles down, trying to make sure Cromley's okay.
Cromley is fine. He seems to be unconscious. Trench is barely holding the pipe.
In that case, attention is on Trench.
Yeah, Trench, like, he's in his human form, but he's holding the pipe in 3 fingers and barely gripping it, and he's like catching his breath. Like, the way that I'm talking is the way that he's talking. Like,
right. So yeah, I think she like pulls a chair over for him to sit and like starts checking him over unless he protests.
Make a medicine check. He's too tired to protest. Okay, so sorry about the train. So, Connie, is anyone in Amber Ridge disabled?
Yeah, I feel like there'd be some people who had like
War injuries?
What?
War injuries?
Probably some war injuries. Probably someone had an accident with the farming equipment at some point.
I'm talking about severely disabled, like may not be able to wash themselves disabled.
Possibly, yeah.
Okay.
In the very least, there's probably an old person somewhere in the village.
Trench is from your examination of him, you don't see an injury, but the way that he holds himself, the way that he's acting, the way that he's like leaning on the pipe, proverbially speaking, reads as someone who can pass as being normally abled unless they exert themselves.
Okay.
And,
So, yeah.
and he's behaving as somebody who is in that situation and exerted himself. So he's like trying to like get himself back together, but he's clearly like out of spoons.
Yeah, so I think she's like trying to help him like have a sit and get the stuff he needs, whatever it is, and put things back in order the best she can.
Yeah, right. So you're like cleaning up around him, and he's not stopping you, but he's doing that thing that somebody who's been disabled for a while is doing, where he's not apologizing, but he's apologizing. Right? Like his body language is like, yeah, it's this bad. I'm sorry. Like, you've seen it before.
Right.
Takes
this
another
is
draw
all my-
from the pipe.
I'm so sorry.
I had to... What do you call magical energy where you're from?
Chaos. Wait, wrong universe.
Spoons.
I use too much of it. I'm sure I don't need to tell you. Folks like us have physical reserves of magical energy.
Yeah.
Mine are smaller than most of my ilk.
Gotcha.
I can do it, but it's painful. I had to use... And he pauses and thinks for a second. 5 charms in rapid succession? To say nothing of the illusion.
Yeah, I think Connie like cringes at that. Like, yeah, that I know how that feels. Like being completely tapped out.
Yeah. Takes another pull from his pipe. Unfortunately, well, me, you, I'm certain, and likely the Masters of the Steam and Steel, it's physically deleterious. To explain, magical creatures cast off HP.
Gotcha.
Because their
So-
natural magical reserves have to come from somewhere.
Right.
It's not literally casting off HP. Like, Venture Trench is not at, like, 10 HP right now. But his body is fucked up because he was using his Rakshasa abilities. As opposed to spell slots. See what I'm saying?
Right.
Uh,
So mechanically speaking, would a heal spell
No.
or a lesser restoration help here? Or is it just
Restoration
something
might
that's
help.
waiting?
Restoration can't get back spell slots. He basically needs a mana potion.
Gotcha.
Of which you do not have access currently.
Yeah, unfortunately, Fala is not in town, and I don't have the recipe.
Right. Takes another pull
Excuse
from
me.
his pipe. Saith will live, so will I. However, your safety here is now compromised.
Right. Which means I need to figure out somewhere else to go in the meantime. Any suggestions?
Your brothers are having lunch at the Steam and Steel. I think.
Glances at the bowl where the couscous was in.
What? I'll
Yeah,
clean
no, that
up.
makes sense.
I'll clean that up later.
No, I meant that's probably where they went because that smells like Avi's cooking.
I think it was meant for you.
I think she cringes a little bit again at that, like, oh, this is all my fault.
I'm sorry, I might have thrown your brother across the desk.
Which one?
The big one with the axe.
Oh, he'll be fine, okay.
Wow!
Look, you're a tanky boy! You're a tanky boy, and you didn't say you're dead, so I figure he'll be fine until I get there.
Yeah, but wow!
Like, if it was Pierce might be, like, comatose. Because
Okay,
Squishy
yeah.
was...
They're probably dead.
In
Pierce.
my defense, I only had a few seconds to modify Sayeth's memory, and the alternative was to kill him.
Yeah, no, that's understandable.
I will render my apologies to the boy myself when I can speak.
Yeah, okay,
He doesn't know that you're
he-
here. I don't recommend being here when he wakes up.
I don't plan to, do you need anything else, before I, dip? Just kinda, like, gestures vaguely to the pipe.
Yes, actually. Sayeth said something about the Growlhund children.
That's immediately got her attention.
I don't have the details. I recommend you come back here as someone with a different face later.
I will keep that noted. That helps a lot, actually.
That's why I didn't want to kill him, that, and he's an old friend.
Right.
You can see
Right.
why I thought throwing your brother across the room was preferable.
Yeah.
By the way, apparently assassins are after you, which is why this whole fiasco started. So keep your head down.
Okay, thanks.
Go.
I'm-
He's got maybe
I'm-
10 minutes before he wakes up. Go.
I'm so sorry, thank you again. And I think she'll, I'm still in the stupid Black Viper outfit, aren't I?
Yes, you are.
Oh shit.
Black
Of course
Viper.
I am.
I know how you get to the statement, so you Black Viper out the top window.
I am
With hooves.
clumsy as fuck.
With hooves. Yeah, that's a
With-
great
Yes.
idea.
Spider Connie.
Right,
Don't crawl in
so,
the chest keyhole.
So, if you see, like, little black cat later, that's me, just pawing at the door. Alright, thank you again so much, I'm so sorry. And she'll cat and then realize she didn't open the door first and then start pawing at the door like, sorry, door.
He pulls himself up, sighs, walks over to the door. Constance, remind your brother about my terms.
She tries to say something, meow comes out of her mouth, and she just kind of like nods.
Cracks the door open. Boop, Connie pops out, closes the door. But the camera lingers on him for a minute, and he sighs, slumps back in his chair, and we crossfade over to the Steam and Steel. You pop out as Pierce and Rochelle are walking up the street. So, Pierce, you and Rochelle are walking up the street talking about you guys are probably talking about, like, one of those mathematical, like, riddles that exists, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then a little black cat runs past you.
Seeing that it's them, she'll probably like stop in their path and then like sit up on her hind legs and do that little beckoning cat gesture.
How close do you stop?
Maybe like a yard or two ahead of you.
Okay. I just want to make sure I don't trip over you.
Nah, not that close.
Rochelle looks at the cat, looks at Pierce, looks at the cat. I haven't got anything for you. I don't think. Patting his pocket. There's a great deal of workers over at the Trollskull Manor. They probably have some scraps. Yes. Why don't you go and check over there, little one?
Did I see which way the cat came from?
Your left.
What is to my left?
In Tiger's Eye.
The I think. Would Pierce have?
You've probably seen this black cat before. She's done that back in Amberridge.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And then I'm just gonna step close to the cat, kneel down on one knee, and scratch it behind the ears.
Meow.
Careful, Master Averill. It might have mites.
I don't.
She gives this grumpy cat look to Rashal.
I am a classy kitty. You take that back.
And then just starts walking towards the steam and steel.
And walk right behind it. You coming?
Yes? What charm do you have that grants you speak with animals?
I can't speak with all animals. I can speak with this one if she looks at the cat.
You're familiar?
No.
Meow.
This one's my familiar. Hold the arm with the bird on it.
Right. How do you have... I'm rather confused, Master Averill. Is this an elaborate hoax?
No, it's Connie.
Meow. Nod, nod.
Sorry, I have to address the fact that when Connie does the meow, she sounds like Gary from SpongeBob.
A little bit, a little bit.
A little bit Gary and a little bit Simon's cat.
Rashad bustles a little bit closer, adjusts his spectacles, stares at you.
Beckoning cat gesture.
How does a cat beckon?
Let me show you.
The cat statue.
Beckoning cat.
Miss Gambleson.
Meow.
Rashad looks at Pierce like, are you having me on?
I think Pierce. I don't. No, that's Connie.
Looks back. Miss Gambleson.
Shakes head yes.
Squint. You squint, adjust the spectacles again. I had heard that you are under duress at the moment. If you require a space with which to call your own and have relative safety and wanted protection, the Bookworm's treasure is open to you always.
Happier meow. And I think she falls back to head bonk him and then keeps walking.
And you bonk Rashad, and Rashad doesn't have a tail because he's the Dragonborn, so it just falls on his ass. Just bonk, falls backwards. So he's got feet on the road, hands on the road, butt on the road. He's just blinking for a second.
I wasn't trying to push him over. I was just head bonking him.
I'm aware.
I like the imagery of just a very concerned cat Connie trying to look over Rashal.
Yes, no, that's absolutely.
And Pierce is laughing his ass off over at the side.
Kitty.
Master Avril, I do not believe that the situation is particularly humorous in any. Do you mind? That's my good cloak. I appreciate your assistance, Miss Gambleson, but I wanted to. Rashal realizes that he's dressed like an adventurer. Connie, you realize that Rashal is dressed abnormally for him, and he blushes.
Cocks her head sideways. Meow?
At some point, Pierce stops laughing and goes over to help him up.
Yeah, you help him up, and by way of explanation, Rashal says, Master Avril required me to venture into some rather infested ruins in search of esoteric, code-breaking knowledge. You see, I thought it advisable to look the part. Yes.
Blink. Looking at Pierce.
I'll explain later.
This disbelieving kitty, what the hell?
Wait, what?
I'll explain it later. Turns to start walking.
Was my explanation inadequate, Master Avril? Wait, just to follow after you. It's like, explain what if I was not looking back at Connie as he's trying to keep up with Piers.
Come on, Connie, you coming?
She's coming along. Boing, boing, boing.
So you get outside of the Steep and Steel, and Rashal is still trying to figure out how he was not explanatory enough. And Embrick looks up. He says, "Welcome to the Steep and Steel. We're a bit I mean, may I take your order?" He like casts a worried look at the building. Yes, we found this lost cat that is absolutely, certainly not Connie Gambleson, and
mouth.
and you see, we have this
I love this episode so much.
Hands still. He's upstairs, yes?
Yes, he is. But I can take your order here if you require something. Perhaps another pair of spectacles. And Rashal starts to answer and then looks at Pierce, takes a step away from Pierce. I have quite enough spectacles, thank you very much, though I do know where to come should I require more of the same. No, we're just here to, Master Avril was invited for luncheon. I was wondering if I might have a plate myself and to take this kitten that is decidedly not anyone that any of us know to a place of relative safety. Embrick raises an eyebrow. Are you quite well, Rashal?
He's fine.
Yes. Why?
He's
Why do you
fine.
ask? Not dressed as you normally are, and you seem to be a bit more touched than usual. Rashal looks down, blushes. I feel adequately prepared for the day's challenges. Embrick, thank you for asking. So the cat is not Constance. Certainly not! What gave you that idea? Embrick looks at Pierce.
Nods.
Most of your kin are upstairs, Master Avril. And I'm sure the ever-flowing wellspring of my marital bliss will see to your feeding regimen, Rashal. Feeding regimen. Going on an adventure, aren't you? Quite, yes, of course. Thank you, Master Embrick.
I love this scene so much.
So, and to goofy as fuck.
Precious boy you must protect.
Yes, exactly.
The most precious dragonborn. He's no longer droopy.
So I think Embrick says, going upstairs or inside, just, you might want to announce yourself to avoid, flying cutlery. Flying cutlery? If there's an enchantment, I could see about, no, Master Rashal, it's, a security measure. Security, flying knives is brilliant, Embrick. Absolutely, I must stay and chronicle the event. And Embrick looks at you, Pierce, like, deal with him.
Come on, Rachel, let's go.
So you pull him away. It's like, wait, where did you get the enchantment? Who laid it upon you? Was it anyone I have to? You pull him inside.
I can absolutely see Pierce dragging Rashal.
Connie, where are you?
Oh,
Are you following Pierce?
Yes.
Okay, so meanwhile, oh boy, we put a pin in all of that because Lawrence, Salcombe, and Brayden have been ushered into Embrick and Avi's sitting room, plopped down in front of a low table, and Avi has disappeared for about 20 minutes. So talk amongst yourselves.
Lawrence is probably just like, yeah, I'm kind of done with it already.
Salcombe would have asked for the journal back from Lawrence and would be reading it by now.
Lawrence would have happily passed it over.
So you're reading the journal.
Yeah, as much as he respects that this is Connie's by all rights,
It's gonna be
his
real funny when
curiosity
Connie
is
comes
far surpassed his limit.
So do you want it verbatim, or are you like just paging through it?
I mean, he's looking for detail.
What kind of details?
Mainly why he used Clan Grawl. Anything...
In the time it takes for the world state to change, you will not find that information.
What?
By the time something happens, you will not have found that.
You can
It's
still
a
look
big
for it.
journal.
Yeah.
Like it's a
Find it in 3 minutes.
it's a big book.
Oh god, Rashal's gonna see this book and be like, "Oh, what you reading there, Salcombe?"
No, absolutely. So Brayden and Lawrence, what are you two talking about while there's the sound of, cartoonish bullshit happening from the kitchen?
but that and Gamsey crashed, of course.
That's fine.
Bye, Gamsey.
I mean, Lawrence would be glancing over like, Avi isn't screaming yet, so I'll leave it go for now.
So what are you talking to Brayden about?
Like Brendan would ask it to him, so like, how much do you know about Connie's situation and also Trench?
I mean, for
Like,
Trench, it's been, I've lived here 5 years, so.
Would you have known though?
Probably by sheer accident at some point in that intervening time.
Or
So
at least you might have heard the rumors, if not had actual proof.
I remind
And then-
you, prior to this, the only people who knew that Vince was a Rakshasa were Connie, Pierce, and Brayden.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't he do the reveal, like, long before, though?
To Connie, Pierce, and Brayden.
Braden, the
I know-
first-hand
I
experience.
know Rochelle has mentioned it in the shop a few times, though you kind of danced around it.
Yeah.
Embrick and Avi know about it, though.
Why would they
so
tell you?
I'm the apprentice.
So? What does that have to do with your forge work?
You're the apprentice.
Fair. But, there's probably been rumors around Trench for
I
years.
guarantee you there have not been rumors around Trench for years. He has modified
Yeah.
memory.
He's probably squashed them.
subterfuge is kind of
Literally, if not figuratively.
Nope.
Okay. In that case, anything about Trent, you get a shrug, but
his whole shtick is secrets and the breaking thereof.
But for everything else, it's be like, well, I heard about the crows. Stalkin was an idiot. Apparently found a journal somewhere, and he gestures everywhere.
Aye, I was there when he found.
No, you weren't. Nobody was there.
No, not that rocket. No, when he brung it over. Was no.
Oh yeah, that's true.
And after that, it was, what else is what it's like I got nothing else. I got nothing left.
Aye. Well, I fill them on we agreed to take her to Trench because me, Pierce, and Connie knew what he was, so we figured he's probably have to deal with things like this before.
Yeah, Master Avi was apparently upset at the fact that you didn't bring her to them. And
I don't doubt they could have protected her, but also we know someone who deals with demon bullshit.
And Lawrence glances at the kitchen and it's like, you understand, Master Avi was really mad. I think
Brain just shrugs and it's like, aye.
I return. I have changed the binding. I don't think control.
Welcome back.
Right.
So about this point, Avi comes in carrying a big platter with rice and mixed vegetables in it, like a little stir fry. He sets it down and he says, "Fresh out of pineapple, I'm afraid, but I should have something a bit more bolstering in just a few more minutes."
And immediately Lawrence is thinking Master Avi, and he just tucks it.
I let Braden thank you, Mr.
So Avi turns to go back in the kitchen, and all four of you hear the door open downstairs. And Avi says, "Embrick, I know we still have orders." Pierce, you hear this.
It's me, Pierce, and you have someone who wishes to speak with you.
Let's just speak with... Cast you a look, Lawrence, oh god, what did you do?
And Lawrence is looking back this is news to me, what the heck?
Mouthful of fried rice.
Yeah, it'd be like, and he'd be getting up too. It's like, what the hell's going on?
You invited the KnightLites, and we've made more additions than just yourself and Embrick.
Oh, have you met someone? I cannot wait to meet them. We will hold that thought for just a moment. And you hear him, as he goes down the hallway, yes, there's plenty of room at our table. And he comes down the stairs and sees Rashal, and Rashal, lowers his hood.
God.
And he says, "Oh," and you guys hear this upstairs. He says, "Rashal, what brings you by?" And Rashal says, "Luncheon, actually. Master Avi, if it's at all acceptable to you, I was hoping to continue my conversations with Master Averill and satisfy the need for nourishment besides." "Of course!" You can see the sweat drop on the back of Avi's head. Of course. The others are upstairs.
No.
Right this way. Is it just the two of you?
Cat.
Meow.
So you meow, and Avi just reaches behind the counter and pulls out just some kind of unworked weapon. It's not got a blade on it, and it just says, "Out! Out!" It starts just marching toward the cat.
Stepping away. Wait.
Master Averill, I am sure that you've
That's
taken a
Connie.
shine to... I'm sorry?
Lawrence freezes wait.
You're still upstairs eating, you said. This is all happening down in the showroom.
I mean, Lawrence got up to be,
Oh, did you? I didn't hear that.
behind
My bad. So you're like, "It's Connie, and Avi, pauses.
Lawrence looks at the cat.
As in
I think.
Constance Gambleson.
Meow.
Nods.
Why?
And I think she does that like unmistakable shaving a haircut with her tail.
Right, so he like puts the unworked sword back behind the counter, and he turns and he says, Constance, aren't you going to do your family the honor of seeing your beautiful face? After all, I can't have you tracking mud all up and down my floor.
Looks down at Paws. Meow. And then she just like makes for the restroom.
There is... Do you know where the bathroom is?
I don't know if she does now I think about it.
I mean, Lawrence would.
Yeah, but you don't know that's what she wants. Fun fact, Avi would too. He lives here.
Yeah.
Right.
we-
So in that case, I think she's just gonna like make sure she's free, so she's not gonna bump into anyone when she changes back, and then just change back.
Okay, so you change back into the ridiculous Black Viper outfit, and Avi raises both eyebrows and looks at Lawrence like, what?
And Lawrence's eyebrows both go up like, and
because you
he
haven't seen it
pauses, looks
either,
up and
yeah.
down. What are you wearing?
More to
It's
the
a long
point,
story.
why are you wearing that?
I got some advice that I should ditch my clothes in case someone tried to track me through those, and this
you
is the only
stole
other
those
outfit you
off
had
of a
on hand.
homeless person?
What?
You got rid of your clothes and stole those from a homeless person?
No, they're on loan.
On loan from a homeless... Yes, that's better. I'm sorry.
They're not homeless.
You're
Next-
wearing that by
next
choice?
Next line from Avi is like,
It was this or this dress that I would not be able to move around in.
is either this or a super frilly dress.
Yeah.
It would be my honor to dress you, Miss Gambleson Sirgaze.
Honestly, I don't want to be a bother, but at the same time, this outfit really itches, so
And
thank
Lawrence
you.
just ducks back towards the table like,
I can
Oh, boy.
assure you that this is... he stops. I
We're
have
gonna get-
food on the stove. Could you bear it for a few moments longer, at least until I can get the chicken out?
Of course. Take your time.
Ah, wonderful. Upstairs on the left, all four of you. You need some food, clearly, and after lunch, Miss Gambleson,
Wait,
I will make you a princess that you deserve to be.
Oh dear. Thank you, Abby.
We're gonna have another outfit montage.
yes.
As implying that Abby does not know exactly what he's going to put her in.
Okay, that's
Oh.
fair. That is very fair. Holy shit.
Oh boy.
So
I mean, Lawrence is retreating by
Rochelle looks like, as Avi is going upstairs, Rochelle says quietly to Pearson and Connie, he says, I rather think that it's lovely and adventurous, yes. I hold this person indeed.
It's not
Oh.
my favorite outfit either. It's a long story, and she's just like pinching the bridge of her nose.
When you say story, and Rochelle visibly perks up. Oh, I didn't bring the
Right,
chronicle, but I
said
could
the
go
magic
and
word, didn't
go
I?
and fetch it.
Transcribe later, food now.
Yeah.
Yes,
Hello.
transcribe later. Food. I might put that on a traveling cloak. Yes, and scribe later. Food now. Onward, my friends, and up the stairs he goes.
I love Rochelle so much.
Right? He's great.
Rachel and Rikami, highlights of our freaking game.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry,
Insert.
but it would be a mildly terrifying sight if I saw Sokkum intently reading.
Yeah, so Salk,
that's-
your nose in the journal. Brayden, you're stuffing your face with fried rice, ostensibly.
Yep.
You see Avi walk past the door, and then you see a gold fucking dragonborn poke his snout in and lick his chops.
and then
half a mouthful.
You don't recognize Rashal immediately because he's not dressed like Rashal. He's dressed like an adventurer.
God.
Okay, if that's the case, like Braden would like stop eating for a second, look at him and squint. It's like, hi.
Is that rice fried with oil and mixed vegetables? Doesn't smell like there's pineapple. Is there room for another? Now you know it's Rashal.
Lawrence is already scooted over to make room.
You're behind Rashal in the hallway, actually. Rashal was the first one up the stairs.
Oh, I thought I dipped back.
Nope.
Rashal fucking skedaddled.
Rashal skedaddled, yeah.
Braden would like scoot over a bit and be like, "It's plenty of room for everyone."
Yeah, so Rashal like comes over, sits down beside you, spoons himself some of the fried rice off the platter, looks around for cutlery, doesn't see any because you've been eating, Kalashite style. Looks at the plate, looks at you. I don't mean to intrude, but how do I?
I think let Braden just take some and puts it in his mouth.
Rather
Not from his plate, but from his own.
rather barbaric, but when in Neverwinter, picks up a handful of rice, pops it into his mouth.
Nom nom nom.
At this point, the rest of your family comes in, Braden. Minus Rockham.
I was missing out.
Pierce probably sits in between Rashal and Connie.
Is Connie sitting near Rashal?
Probably.
Okay. Rashal has impeccable manners. That being said, he is mowing through this food.
Nom 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 nom.
I mean, Avi cooks for
familiar with this
army
food
anyway.
Pierce isn't familiar with this food either.
No, you're not.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Lawrence
I
is
think
back in.
As a like, heads up, as like Pierce came in, I think Braden would like slightly glare at him and raise an eyebrow.
Oh boy.
Probably look between them like, oh
It's
boy.
like, Braden's not going to say it, and he's just going to keep eating.
I don't even know what you're on about. So
We'll get to that later. We have company at the moment.
seeing Pierce's confusion, I think Connie like taps him on the shoulder, like, you put it on the thing and then you pick it up and you eat it.
Ow.
At the same time, Lawrence probably nudging Salk like, guys, here, give it to him.
Rashal is making munchy noises, but he's not being obnoxious about it.
He is very happy, Dragonborn.
Yes.
Very happy dragon.
We fixed it.
As you guys are getting situated, I think Avi comes in with like a tandoori.
Sorry again?
The big cone-shaped dish.
And Lawrence just like, yes, we are gonna eat so well.
And it pulls the lid off of it, and it's full of like meat, but not just like meat. It's like a meat casserole, and there's definitely some seafood in it. So there's like eel and chicken and like vegetables in this like curry broth. And he sets the tandoor down beside the platter of rice, and just wordlessly goes back in the kitchen.
Thank you. No.
I was gonna say as they're leaving, it's like thank you, Avi.
Just, I mean,
Master
Lawrence is actually a word.
Parnassus, I don't mean to intrude. Is that eel? I don't mean to intrude, but do you eat like this every day?
Not every day, but when Master Avi cooks, and he, just takes some up, just like, oh yeah.
I don't mean to offend my gathered countrymen, but I have rather a weakness for seafood and strong broth. You will forgive me if I enunciate a bit too much.
I forgot that one of the main things that golden dragons, like the other sea dragons, love is fish.
You're welcome.
Nice.
Nom 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 nom.
And Lawrence should probably raise his.
Rochelle is like picking through the casserole and just getting the like scallops and eel out of it.
Lawrence, going on after my own heart and my stomach, for that matter.
If nobody is immediately reaching for the tandoor, Rochelle like tips it and like pours some of the broth over his rice.
Oh, that sounds good.
Mhm.
This is smart boy.
I think Connie's gonna take the cue after him.
I mean, Lawrence just eating.
Make it
normally.
make a dexterity saving throw, Connie.
Like, that sounds good. I want to try that a little bit.
Make a dexterity saving throw.
Oh no.
If you spill this, Lawrence is gonna be upset.
Okay. So you don't drop it, but it's a hot clay bowl. You have resistance to fire damage, I think.
I do.
Okay, so you can choose. You have to pick two. Your lap, Pierce's lap, the silk cushions, or your plate.
I think
Given the outfit you're currently wearing, that's
I think it's gonna be my lap and the plate.
Okay, you're going to take half of this.
Okay.
Okay, so you take a point of fire damage as you pour boiling broth on your lap. As someone who has done this, it hurts like a bitch.
Oh,
it does.
I can agree.
Connie, are you okay?
I'm okay. That hurts, but I'm okay. And most of it is on the plate, so I'm good. Ow. And she's like wadding it up with her napkin.
Yep, but there's no napkins. You're on silk cushions.
You're right.
Presty it up.
Okay, you fixed it up with Presty. There you go.
Thanks. That's a lot less hot now.
obvious cooking for all of us. Not you.
Actually, wait. I know what I can do.
Look, it was just a little bit.
I'm gonna cast Presty again
Mhm.
and just kind of cool the fabric because I can change the temperature of stuff with Presty.
Yeah, she's not going to continuously take fire damage. It was just that initial.
I know, but it's more or less flavor.
Just a little
If
singe.
you cool the liquid in the tandoori, it's going to be less satisfying to everyone else.
No, I meant the fabric because a point of fire damage and then cool it.
Yeah, fair enough. I assumed you just pressed it away.
Yes, but the heat would be there, wouldn't it?
Yeah,
You're a
the heat would-
tiefling.
As someone
Yeah,
who
but
has
still-
Yes,
Don't
but
worry.
Pierce isn't thinking
As-
about that.
as
He's
someone,
thinking, hot food on the person.
All right, sure. If you want to do that, fine.
Yeah.
as someone who has accidentally dumped an entire bowl of Campbell's chicken noodle soup on my upper and lower torso, fresh out of the microwave, I can tell you, the heat of the clothing is not the problem.
No, it's not. I poured ramen broth over my knee, and I had a scar for 4 weeks.
Good
Hey.
Lord, Fox.
I didn't do it on
I mean,
purpose.
Well, no, but still, ow.
To be fair, you're also
Sympathetic, ow.
So anyway,
Anywho,
Yeah.
with that cleaned up, nom nom nom.
yeah. So talk amongst yourselves now that you're all gathered for once. You're all in the same room, which means I need to nuke the Pentagon. Clearly, the Waterdeep Pentagon, at least.
Yes, apparently.
I love how
Not yet. We don't have
cheery everything.
We don't have rock back yet.
Yeah, Pierce is just slowly eating.
Lawrence be elbowing Sock, like, yo, give her the journal.
And I think on the third or fourth bump, he just raises his head right. I love.
You see
I
Connie
feel
sitting
like-
across from you.
I feel like
Cute.
Pierce is staring at Salk weird for reading a book.
I love dearly that we're finally together and we're having a good time this time.
Right? We
And
really gotta stop splitting up.
Right.
I deeply hate to make things less enjoyable, but
I think brain peers out the window a bit. Okay, what's gonna come in?
Yeah, right?
I mean, Lawrence is waiting for the other shoe to drop.
I think Avi drops something in the kitchen, and everybody but Rashal jumps.
You alright in there, Avi?
Fine. Just dropped a knife.
Well,
At least it wasn't a plate.
Or on his foot.
If there's something that there seems to be an air in this room that I can't quite indicate. What something the matter? My assembled associates.
What are you on about, Salcom?
yeah, what's on your mind? Push to talk, Gamzee.
I push to talk.
You might have crashed again.
Or that.
Rip.
Think of the luck.
Well, in that case, I'll take the cue.
Okay.
Our illustrious. I'm going to say giant. It's not giant. It's a giant.
Goliath.
Goliath.
Yeah.
That's the one. Well, our illustrious Goliath found a book.
Rochelle
Glances
perks
at
up
the one he's been
immediately.
reading.
Mm-hmm.
There's no way Rochelle didn't see his nose deep in the book the whole time. Oh wait, no, food.
No, Salk is sitting across the table from Rochelle. That would be rude.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there goes Gamzee.
And apparently, it's titled to you.
Blink, blink.
Looking at Connie.
What?
I
Apparently left by Tristan.
wait.
Blink, blink.
Where did you say this book was?
Yeah, where did you find this?
Stockholm's
Also, what? And she's just kind of like reaching for it now.
where he found it, he neglected to tell us.
I could have sworn he did mention that
He did
found
not
it,
mention
correct?
where he got it. No, because
No.
you were out in
There's that
public.
book.
That's right. We were kind of dealing with Idrid at the
Istrid,
time.
but yes.
Yeah.
Istrid, thank you.
So yeah, I will stare at Salk until Gamzee gets back.
Yeah. So
I imagine he's still nose deep in the book and not paying attention to any of us.
right, yeah. So I think while that like is in the air, I think Avi pops back in with like another course. I don't know what it would be. I don't know enough about Middle Eastern cuisine. More fool me. But he pops back in with another course, and before he leaves, he says, so what's this about there being more of you?
What?
And Lawrence, does a head tilt. Oh, there's Gamzee. I'll pull him down.
Thank you. So we can
I forget, who was it that said that?
Salcom said it, but we'll hold off on that. We'll like rewind that now that Gamzee's back and Avi doesn't have to come in quite yet.
It's Sockham, you're being stared at because you have the book.
Everybody's
And they know
staring
it's
at you.
Aye,
Yes,
they
yes.
now know that it's from Tristan and for Connie.
And you have been asked where you found it.
God dang, I had a whole thing set. Fuck.
Oh, sorry, you crashed. Had to keep it going.
Thank you, Delta.
You're
Can't
welcome.
allow for that dead air.
Delta wasn't actually, or Braden wasn't actually there when I brought it up.
No, but I was told about it.
Yeah, you were told. He was told about the Black Viper. As Stile ratted you out,
Fuck's sakes.
Of
I mean, to
course
be
she
fair-
did. She's a Svile.
right?
Hey.
One quick second. This is fucking frustrating.
Okay. Ow. As pleases you. We all await you eagerly, Salcom.
In the meantime, nom nom scallops.
Right.
Wait a second.
I mean,
Wait a second. What?
And that's in character.
What?
Pierce said, "Wait a second," not me. Wait a second.
Right. Yeah. Go on.
We just left from Mertz a few hours. Not Mertz. We just left from the castle a few hours ago. Did you find the book in between now and then?
I did.
Where?
Where
I
did
found
you?
a mausoleum.
You went back to the city of the.
Why did you go back to the City of the Dead? She says, ignoring the fact that she wants to go back there at some point and finish the job.
I mean, we had to go meet with, and it slightly glances at Rochelle.
Oh, right.
The contact.
And I was given a
And-
job. Safe to say, I couldn't yet complete it, but I found this. And he's like, he's waving the journal.
What was the job? And she says, like, only half paying attention, and she's like looking at the journal, like, you gonna hand it to me kind of gesture.
Yeah, like he holds it out to Connie.
And okay, I think as he passes it to Connie, and I think she starts nosing through it. Pierce goes, speaking of City of the Dead, we found something the other day.
No, no.
Oh dear.
And we were waiting to check it out until we were all together, because I thought it might be important for you.
Shouldn't we wait for Sock to get back first? Or Rock? Good. Yeah.
Yeah, we should definitely wait until Rock gets back first, but I figured I should go ahead and tell Salt.
Yes, but he's gonna rush off and try and inspect it.
I mean, all of us are here, we can...
There.
Look, Sock, if...
There's a loud slurping sound as Rashal like tilts his plate up to his mouth.
And Lawrence is tennis matching between the two of them, like back forth, back forth, back forth.
Sock, if I tell you this, you gotta promise not to go running off again.
So there's more that you relented on telling me.
We just found out about this recently.
Yes, it's not... We're not holding anything from you.
Well,
We're just-
you already held the fact that Trent was ready to throw hands from us.
What?
I had let brain pop pipes up. I was like, well, I was waiting until we didn't have company to ask this, but
Yes, the KnightLites were allowed to go to trenches.
aye,
If I'm not mistaken, looks at
Oh.
Connie.
was this about assassins?
What?
We can talk about that later.
Aye.
What was it?
Anyway,
is
anyway,
there
anyway.
a particular reason that we can't discuss matters of the guild amongst the guild members? Should I find my exit?
Of course not, Rashal. You're as much as a KnightLite as anyone in this building.
Anyway, what I was trying to say, we found a mausoleum in the city that ourselves had.
With a crest on it dedicated to Clan Grawl.
Oh,
Looks
stronger,
exalt-
stronger together, Clan Grawl.
Let's just
Yes,
talk
that's
about
the
it
exact
tonight.
word.
Yeah.
That's where I got the journal.
Oh.
What?
And Lawrence
Wait,
just looked
what?
at him like, beg pardon?
What?
You were there already?
I found it. I made my way inside. The
Yeah, I
doors
know
were
that.
chained.
Hey,
The doors were chained, and I
you
found something.
okay?
in the
So you
mist.
did break into the mausoleum.
And
What?
Lawrence is just face palming like,
And this is when Avi comes in with the next course, and he says, "What's this about breaking into the city of the dead?"
More importantly, your father, Sock'em stands up, decided to use my family clan's name for a mausoleum in dedication to his best friend. And left money, weapons, armor, dossiers, all inside of a single coffer.
Coffin.
Socken, calm down, sit, have some
Uh,
food.
Getting sick of not being told things and getting sick of being doubted. He like slams his fist on the table, lighting up a little bit.
You slam your
Yeah,
fist on the
well, none
table,
of us-
fucking rice and broth goes everywhere. Avi scowls at you.
I mean, Lawrence would be falling back and probably yanking Rashal with him.
Oh, none of us knew this.
Wouldn't he say something? Wouldn't he know? Why hide something from like this? Wouldn't he know we were coming? Wouldn't he say something knowing we were coming here? Why so important to hide it? Especially with a journal dedicated to you.
We don't even know that he knows.
You're
So,
assuming way too much, Sock'em.
so Avi puts a hand on your arm, Sock'em, and can you make Can you just make a wisdom saving throw for me, please?
Oh no.
Okay. You can check the VOD if you doubt me, but he beat you. So what happens is he like pushes your arm down to your side and he says, "You strike me as the air of a man who's been deeply wronged. But I'm curious, what did my good silk cushions do to you?"
Nothing. Just an unnecessary outburst. I'm sorry, Bobby.
If there's a problem with the food or the company, I can make arrangements.
None at all. I'm sorry.
I mean, Pierce.
As I
After-
understand it, everyone at this table is family, and while I quite agree, family sometimes calls for such things, perhaps focus that anger on where it is deserved, hmm?
Pierce is going to start pressing the cushions.
We all have questions,
And Lawrence is gonna look real pensive because it's probably not the first time he's heard that from Avi.
Go ahead, Connie.
We all have a bunch of questions, Sock. It's not just you.
Avi moves his hand to your shoulder, Salcom, and you feel him push down. He's not strong enough to make you sit, but he's trying.
I mean, he's just gonna go down with it.
Cool.
I'm just.
Right. Well, this doesn't seem to concern me, and I've got lemon chicken in the oven, so I'll go and get that. And, thank you, Master Averu. And he breezes out of the room. There's a tense silence as he goes, broken by the sound of Rochelle swallowing.
I don't know why he did it.
He saw us off. He knew where we were going.
The tomb, the mausoleum was changed. You said that it was changed. That he never intended for anyone to go in there.
But he had a journal dedicated to Connie in case she ever found it.
And knowing Tristan, they probably expect us to never find it.
Out of character, I know what the first few words of that journal is, and that's the.
I mean, Connie does too. She's looking through it.
Yeah.
For a long ass time, he didn't even know I was alive.
But he knew when we left. He knew where we were going. He knew what he did.
How long has it been, Sock? How long has it been since when he wrote that and when he found us?
At least a decade.
Does
So
Tristan,
yeah, he had no idea.
does Tristan seem the type to forget his regrets?
Why would he tell us?
Moreover, it's entirely likely he assumed it was robbed already because,
Waterdeep.
know,
There is
Yeah,
a hole.
exactly.
You said it
There
was
is a
still
hole in
chained
the
up.
roof.
You said it was chained up when you got. You
It
broke
was,
the chain.
fair
You
enough.
broke the chain, didn't you?
I was told that there was a necromancer. I was concerned. And if nothing else, I was going to find out where he was.
When you say the word necromancer, Rochelle chokes and like thumps his chest.
I mean, Lawrence patting on the bag, like, breathe.
I
Suspected necromancer don't know anything yet. If anything,
Right.
it's probably someone
Right.
dead.
Believed presence of one. We're not certain yet. We are certain of something else. He looks at Lawrence, but that can be discussed once it's dealt with.
You went in without the. You broke the chain.
If I might, Master Avril, Sorghum, I cast no judgment on where your activities lead you. The same goes to anyone gathered at this table, but I ask strictly academically when I say, did anyone see you?
Go in.
Yeah.
Go in. As far as I'm aware, certainly not.
What about
Coming out? I don't know. I was more concerned with what I had there.
And you
Points to
said
the
there
general.
was. You made mention of valuables. Oh dear.
Large amounts of money.
Lawrence looks a little ill. He's like, right.
Probably go
Paperwork and need to get that proven. What else? He's muttering to himself
I
on.
would
how to
advise
make it right.
Master Parnassus that whatever it is that you endeavor to do, if the proverbial gears of the city's bureaucracy, you do so after you confirm that the objects in question are secure, as it does not sound as if they are.
If the door's just wide open, anyone can go in there.
I had it closed.
If it was chained, it could be open without any sort of key or anything like that.
Yes, thank you, Pierce, for affirming what is true about most doors.
You said that it was a mausoleum, well, they're made of stone, I don't know. I doubt a small breeze will open them.
I mean, you get 2 or 3 people, you can open that door very easily.
A locked door only serves to keep out an honest gentleman, as they say.
Then Vishal carries a good point. We make sure what was there is there. More specifically, the more subtle among us does so. And we move along.
I imagine everyone turns to Brayden.
I think he just looks like all of you individually. It's like, hint, wink, wink.
And then
I think everybody turns to Brayden except Rashal. And Rashal like swallows his bite of food, looks at everyone, looks at Brayden, and then he like to himself, he's like, "Why? Do you have something in your teeth, Master Koi?"
And he just like picks out a bit of rice.
once we're sure that it's still there, we go through whatever bureaucratic bullshit we have to. ...
Rashal,
I am a part of that aforementioned bovine
Rashal.
excrement, Master Salcom.
And you're the only good part of it.
Rashal.
Hmm.
Arcane lock. We could lock the tomb if we make sure everything's in there.
It requires concentration, I'm afraid.
I don't... Does it?
The way that you described it to him, that version does. You're talking about the door ward that Rajra used. That requires concentration.
No, not that. I mean,
that's what he thinks you're talking about, though.
No, there's another version of the spell where you can
set it and forget it.
Yeah, set it and forget it. Thank you, Brayden.
Yes, but at minimum, Master Averil, you or I would need a day to adequately prepare.
And I'm looking at the spell. It has a casting time of 1 action.
Yeah, but you have to prepare the damn spell.
Oh, yeah, that's right. That's right.
And in the meantime, I'm pretty sure me and Sockham and Lawrence could make sure that no one goes in. Make sure everything's fine.
There is
It's not in law.
There is one thing of note we have to be wary of if we did. There's a hole in the roof.
Rashal looks up.
It's not large, but it's enough. If someone got on top, they could smash
Rashal's
through.
looking around at the ceiling. He squints.
I think Connie's humoring him, like, I don't see a hole.
Right, I don't feel the draft.
Rashal, the mausoleum's ceiling.
What mausoleum? We're in an apartment.
Rashal, I love you, but your lack of situation permanence is...
I'm sorry that I'm somewhat distracted when there's delicious grilled fish in front of me, Master Salcom.
Please, please, by all means, focus on the fish.
And
He has a
Lawrence
point.
just raising his own in appreciation. Like, yep, I totally get.
I don't mean to distract you from your food at all. Matter of fact, this is the first time food has been a second priority for me in a long time.
I recommend that it is not so now. This is quite, Master Parnassus, I think that you could have a thriving business here. At this point, Avi comes in with yet another platter, and he says, No, thank you, Rashal, but my work is at the forge. He sets a plate down in front of Rashal. Rashal looks at it and he says, Are you quite certain, Master Avi? I'm quite certain, Rashal. Thank you. Off he
I'm sure
goes
if you
again.
asked nicely, you could come over again for lunch. Looks at Rashal, then at Avi.
Avi's like halfway out the door. You see him pause. He turns around and he's got the big homemaker smile and he says, Of course! He's looking at Lawrence like, No.
Rashal,
And Lawrence is like, we'll discuss things later, guys.
I certainly would not want to impose. Master Avi, I'm imposing enough by being here, but the company called for it. Of course it did, Rashal. Eat your fill, I'm sure it's no trouble. Glaring at Lawrence, off he goes.
And Lawrence is just like, well, I'm fucked later.
You're welcome, Lawrence.
I do have a question, Rashal.
Of course, I am rather skilled at finding answers to conundrums.
Well, two, actually.
All's the better. And pops a piece of
First-
fish into his mouth.
First, is there a way to prove
Yes.
ancestry without direct evidence?
It's early.
Family
I will-
resemblance, perhaps?
Sorry.
For
Documentation?
one such as I to say that a mausoleum marked Clan Groll is my clan, is there a way for me to prove that?
And he, like, adjusts his spectacles. It would need... Do you know what court is, Master Salcom?
I don't.
Lawrence is probably looking like, ah, shit. Here
A
we
committee
go.
would need to be assembled, and all the arguments heard in favor and against, and then a appointed individual whose job in Waterdeep is to pronounce verdict on decisions such as that would need to, perform its necessary function. However, you have a rather strong argument if, as I suspect, the markings upon your frame are your heritage.
They are. My only issue is myself and my brother only found out we're of Clan Grolls who was currently at the time dead.
There is one option, rather bulletproof, I think. Well, quarrel-proof, he would say.
Right.
You would find someone in Clan Groll that can corroborate your story. Someone proven, someone that the city recognizes as a member of Clan Groll.
Don't think we
Is-
know anyone.
Is there anyone in the city that's part of Clan Groll?
I know a great many things, Master Averil, but I do not know the parentage of every Waterdeepian citizen.
I suppose I have a reason to go to the Hall of Justice then.
Be a registry of such things.
Quite. The Hall of Records, not the Hall of Justice. It's a subsidiary,
Right.
same building, but not quite the same group of individuals. I could lend you my credentials, should you require them.
That would be wonderful, Shaw. Thank you.
Of course. He looks at Pierce, and apparently in a way that he expects Pierce to understand, he says, "The hunt resumes, it seems. After lunch, of course."
And
Nod.
on to my second question, Rashal.
Yes.
Did you ever finish my transcription of the story of Snorri?
I have. Yes, I have. It awaits your arrival. And now a question for you, Master Salcom. Are you going to eat that bay scallop there?
It's all yours, Rashal.
Stabs it with a claw, pops it into his mouth. Thank you.
I think Pierce then goes, one more thing, Salcombe, but I think it's better saved for later. There's something we need to discuss. And he shoves a mouthful of food in his mouth.
Who did you direct that at?
Salcombe.
Okay.
We are in the presence of family, but I understand.
From the kitchen, you hear, "Quite so."
And Lawrence just gets this big dumb smile on his face again, like, yeah.
By the way, Pierce, Embrick and Avi
Still
are
true.
Waterdeepian fathers now.
Hey.
Apparently, you've all been adopted. And just Lawrence shakes his
I think his comment, I think his response to that is better than my mother, and shoves another mouth.
Avi appears in the doorway with no food, with his arms folded. He's glaring at Salcombe. He says, "I was going to save the paperwork for dessert, but if you're going to rush things..."
Pierce on his food.
I mean, Lawrence swallows and just giggles himself to death.
We didn't know you meant literally.
Of course, why wouldn't I? I mean, that... Constance! You shouldn't doubt your mother that way. And off he goes.
Still choking on his food. I don't know how that would work.
I mean, Lawrence is swallowing over giggling.
I think Connie goes back to like skimming the book.
Okay.
If you find anything in there about why he chose Clan Grawl or who his best friend was,
So are you
he
paging...
says,
Go ahead.
air quotes,
Hey.
Are you paging through it, or are you reading it cover to cover, Connie?
I think she's paging through it at the moment, but she's gonna cover to cover it like before
Okay.
bed.
So if you're... well, it's not before bed. It's a big journal. It's...
Just start before bed.
After the foreword is written in, like, newer ink than the first page of the book. And the first page of the book is dated, like... How old are you?
I don't actually know how old Connie
She's
is
like
at this point.
16 presently, 16, 17?
I wanna say.
I think Connie was
16.
Pierce
We were
is
the oldest.
15. That would make Connie 17 because Connie is 2 years
Yeah,
older.
so you're 17. So this book was written, the first date is like 14 years ago.
Whistles appreciatively. This happened a while ago.
And I'm just telling you right now, the very first line of the first page after the foreword is, "I finally got the bastards."
That is strong. Oh.
Well, shit.
That's emphatic in the best way.
Does it say who
Somewhat.
the bastards are? Because Sock would have read that
I
too.
think
He
it's
started
in-
after where he read.
I think it's implied that it is the people who killed his wife.
Yeah,
That's
like
fair.
he doesn't specifically name them. The first entry after the foreword, which you didn't finish, by the way, the foreword is longer than that. But the first entry is, "I finally got." It's dated like 14 years ago. It says, "I finally got the bastards. I've been hunting them ever since I broke out. I never thought I would enjoy strangling a human."
Wow.
Oh.
Ooh, shit.
Well then,
Tristan's a little more hardcore than we thought.
I think Chris was hard.
Dazzled, of course it's hardcore.
I mean, considering what they did, I guarantee you that's why. He
Hear
wouldn't
me
do
out
that
though.
to
There's a
anyone.
difference between the kind of hardcore you have to be to help bring down a corrupt monarch and
Kill the
enjoying
person.
strangling a man to death.
Enjoying strangling the people who killed your wife.
Enjoying strangling someone to
Killed your
death
wife
at
and
all.
kidnapped you, more accurately. Killed your wife, assumedly killed your child, and kidnapped you. Like, he
And-
went Frank Castle on those guys.
Yeah, that's like, oh wow, I really enjoyed committing murder.
Yeah, but it's written in surprise. It's like, he said, "I never thought I would."
Yeah, still just oof.
I still can't believe that's the first line of the actual journal.
Right?
Pack a punch.
Imagine what the rest of it's like.
So if you want to page through it, Connie, make an investigation check.
There's gotta be a page where he realizes his daughter's alive. If that's in this journal.
Yeah, that was the
Okay,
header.
you can ask me one question while you're sitting at the table. You can find one piece of information. What?
I'm trying to think what to ask now.
Okay.
Oh god, I so deep.
Well,
No.
I think her attention is still on like Sock's question since he just asked it a bit ago. Like how does Andre fit into this?
Right.
Like
Yeah. Excuse me.
like why attune to Andre, of all people, in the middle of Waterdeep?
So, it close to the end. Well, not close to the end, but like more towards the end than the beginning. You find an entry that says, I can't believe we fucking did it. Us. Tula, I understand, but the rest of us, what the fuck?
No,
That sounds about right.
We got him, he's out, and now they're calling us heroes. Heroes. I can't even save my family.
Oh.
They're
Oh,
giving, and then there's like a line like etched through the page, and it says, as a separate entry on the same date, it says, they're giving us more money than I'm willing to put down here, demanding we take it. I don't have any use for that. How are we going to carry it? I told them, commission a mausoleum. They have a big hall of records here. He died in the war. He must have. He deserves a send-off. And that's the entry.
Huh.
yeah. I think reading that, I think she's gonna like get Sock's attention from whatever he's doing.
Mm-hmm.
Like tap the place on the page to start reading and pass it to him.
Okay.
I had another thought.
Go on.
If does everyone in the group know that Tristan made the tomb? Yeah, Salcom said it.
Yep.
If Tristan's the one that commissioned it, and everyone knows his last name, wouldn't that mean you would be able to get to it? Stares at Connie.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
I mean, that's assuming you want everyone to know who you are.
That
It would keep us safe. Tristan
We're
Sergeys
paid
is
a hell of a target on our back.
in the
Yeah.
public records as a tiefling, Master Coy.
Rashal.
I don't mean for people going after tieflings.
Wait, Rashal. Is there some form of magic we can have some cleric come with us to make certain that someone is telling the truth when they say something?
There
That
is,
is true to
certainly,
the
though
thing.
it can be resisted as with any spell. Though, Miss Gambleson, if I may speak of your visage for a moment, I know that can be indelicate to some individuals.
She gives like a little nod, like go on.
I doubt it would be necessary. Devilish though her countenance might be, she's the spitting image of Tristan Sergeys.
I dare say we have a trip to make for an appointment.
I would recommend go as high in the wheels of bureaucracy as you are able with this information. The higher the personage, the less likely it is to explode in one's face. I
He's
think.
gonna jokingly say, so straight to Silverhand.
If you can manage it, yes.
There's a snag though.
Mert.
What about Mert?
What about that?
No, Pierce, you're right. But at the
Pierced
same
intently.
Yes, you're right, but at the same time, if we take this straight to Laurel and we can prove it, there's nothing Mert can do.
No, shush. What about Mert?
Mert's a bastard. What else?
Master Avril, I
Elaborate, please.
feel the need to remind you that Lord Mert is second to our illustrious Lord of Waterdeep, Laurel Silverhand. He's a hero to the people and head of one of the most prominent guilds, not only in this city, but on the realm.
He's gonna interrupt Rachel, and he threatened Connie.
Blink, blink.
I'm sorry, excuse you. I
See.
don't think I quite heard that right, and he like, rubs his ear. He did what?
He did what?
He threatened that if I didn't halt my investigation, he was gonna have Connie outed as a quote-unquote demon.
From the way Pierce described it, Mert wants Pierce to help me and then report nothing back to Blackstaff about what's happening. And he's using Connie as a bargaining chip.
I knew something didn't sit right with me about him.
Bren takes a deep breath. It's like, if I wasn't convinced that man could cut me in half with a single stroke,
That's actually not the problem I meant.
I hate to be the bearer of unfortunate tidings, my friends, but that is rather, as one might say, it is akin to leopard spots, so to say. Very, very typical of Lord Mert. I don't think it's personal, Master Avril.
I suppose you don't get the name of Merciless for nothing.
Quite.
Personal.
It's not personal, so he does that on the regular, does he?
Unfortunately, yes. Nothing provable, of course. Nothing that can be traced back to him in the courts, higher or lower. But,
Rashal, is there some form of magic where you can convey a memory directly from one to another?
there is.
Even then, memories can be changed.
And that is the concern, yes.
That's fair.
And if I understand your train of logic, Master Sorghum, I am rather convinced that Lord Silverhand is aware of the way that Lord Mert conducts his business, and has, for all intents and purposes, permitted such things.
Was if we can prove Connie the child of a hero to Waterdeep, then we could also prove what Mert said, and she would be granted some kind of freedom from his threat.
To a degree, understand that while Tristan Seargaze is afforded heroic notoriety, and Miss Gambleson, you would very, very likely enjoy the same, that is for the upper echelons of the city. The common folk, those of our station and below, will still very simply see you for the creature that haunts their dreams, as they have been instructed by those in power, be it religious or political.
Moreover, the Enclave isn't very fond of folks like me.
We need to talk about that, Connie.
Oh, why is this so complicated? I came here to study, not to... She just kind of like face palms.
We are often shouldered with the burdens of our birth, Miss Gambleson. It is what we do with the time that we are permitted in rising above such things that we will be remembered for. A very wise dragon once said that. Yes, I did just paraphrase Parthenax as a dragonborn. You're welcome.
Of course, I knew it.
And I was
all.
about to say, well, another wise dragon just repeated it.
The further things go, the longer my break from heroism it becomes.
Connie, You don't have to do the Emerald Enclave to study.
No, I would be honored to tutor you in whatever subjects you wish.
Hold on. Rochelle, I love you. I'm sorry, but Connie, you're allowed to leave the conclave, right? Enclave?
Yeah, it's just
It's not like it's the and Avi from the kitchen goes, "The bloody Zentarum!"
Right. If you leave the Enclave, you could join Blackstaff and
right. It's just
Hey,
nature is kind of
Fajra-
the Enclave whole shtick.
Not quite, actually. The Enclave seeks to preserve the balance, the status quo. Anything from particularly progressive legislation to illegal logging falls under the purview of the Enclave.
And if they ever found out that you were a tiefling,
That would upset the status quo quite a bit, yes.
But if you joined Blackstaff, Fajra herself said they could afford you some levels of protection.
I was going to say that.
Also, out of character, did Braden already warn her about what he was told?
I don't think you did.
I could have
No,
sworn
you
that he
never
had
did.
said to him that,
You
like,
haven't talked to her since the City of the Dead.
Second,
no, this was like near the beginning of the campaign. Mind,
Yeah,
Suraj had warned him about, like, get her out of there, they will kill her.
Oh yeah, no, yeah.
yeah.
I could have sworn I
Suraj
said
Yeah, you
also
never-
warned Connie.
You never relayed that.
I could have sworn I did.
Suraj did. Suraj said it. I know that.
No, it's
Gerard said it to you, but I don't think you ever said it
No,
to Connie.
when you got caught, when you got by the Zentarum, he did say that to you.
anyway,
And I quote, "The skirt's a tiefling."
Okay, fair.
Another thing, we have issues with the Enclave.
I
was-
could have guided any of you to respectable and adequate guilds if you sought admission. Perhaps I should have offered that more vigorously.
Once this is
Thank
over,
you, Rochelle. There's something I was told that the Enclave was going to be doing that stares at Connie.
Connie doesn't know. She
Okay.
hasn't been back. She hasn't got her mission yet.
I know, that's why I'm gonna tell her now.
Yeah, she doesn't have her hood up right now, but she like cocks her head out of habit because people can't usually see her face.
Your next job is an assassination mission.
Blank, blank.
It, like, Braden stumbles on his foot, it's like, you what?
What?
Orange is like-
And
Scene.
All the bombshells.
First of all, what? Second of all, how do you know this? Second of all, what?
I was told to stop it from happening. Stares at Connie. And I was told that you'd be the one chosen for it by Vajra Safar, and I was told not to let it happen because the target is a Harper.
Well,
Hey,
who's
do
the
you
target?
have a name? Do you know who? What they look like?
The
Come on.
See, here's the thing: we won't know what they look like because they're the doppelganger.
I think Braden face palms is like, oh, of course.
I don't mean to find this amusing, my assembled friends, but welcome to Waterdevian Guild politics.
And we don't need a third guild dragged into the street war that's happening currently.
This basically just put his head down on the table, like, dang it.
And technically, I'm not supposed to get involved because we don't need the Blackstaff, dragged into it either.
I am not assassinating the doppelgangers. What the fuck?
I'll quickly
Then-
get out the guild then.
And see, here's the thing: if she gets out, they're gonna pick another person to do it.
I mean, I suppose I could watch it.
That's what I was going to suggest.
If I might be permitted to speak,
Feel
Of
free.
course.
Miss Gambleson has an entirely too bright spotlight on her at present. Do we really need the city guard and watch and Order of the Gauntlet under the impression that she is also a political assassin?
Absolutely not.
No, but the Enclave could be under the impression that I got there to do the job and they had already been tipped off by someone.
None of the guilds, with the possible exception of the Xanathars, and I use the term guild loosely in regards to that organization, exists in what is called a vacuum, Miss Gambleson. If there is a belief in one, it is likely to spread to the others, either through direct or indirect means. By virtue and proving my theorem, we have Master Avril speaking for Blackstaff Tower about a confidential matter not even yet discussed with the Emerald Enclave. If your ploy is to go as expected and you are an assassin, and they trace it back to you, the Enclave who gave you the assignment, realizes later that you are a tiefling or otherwise of fiendish parentage, they could then use the failed assassination or successful one, but we're speaking purely hypothetically, to make your life a great deal more complicated.
Well, then we should beat them to the punch. We should warn them and let them skedaddle before the assassination is even issued.
If I may,
Need to do so discreetly, but by all means, Master Slocum.
I would say go and leave them before they can give you the mission, and then go and make the warning subtle as you can, since we do have rooms around where they're likely to be.
I actually like that idea. If Connie leaves before they give her the mission, they don't know that she knows and can't trace it back to her.
Right, which then she can reasonably go to where we believe them to be, if it's what we're all thinking. Come on.
I'm worried about, however, if we tell the doppelgangers, it's going to go back to the Harpers and the war is going to start regardless.
That is simply a matter of not telling them where the assassins are from, but that they are coming.
Right.
That's exactly my thought.
And we have a 50-50 on either security getting bumped up or them leaving.
Oh, a third thing, I discussed this with Charles, unrelated to any of this. I've already discussed this with Rashal. We're going into the sewers, guys.
What?
Again?
Why?
Why?
Exactly.
We already ran into... Technically we ran into 2 of those brain eater things and...
Yeah, we gotta stop those from coming up here.
Oh, good lord.
Speaking of,
There's more?
You're telling me we need to fight a bunch of the things that nearly offed Connie?
If I might, before this spirals out of control, I find it very unlikely that you would need to fight a great many of them. Likely a pair or a try. I would be far more concerned about the illithid.
the what?
What?
The what?
Isn't it?
Wait, hold on. Is that the big thing with like tentacle face?
Wait, yeah,
Oh
is
yeah,
that
we
the
saw
guy
those
that...
in the sewer too when she does the tentacle
Oh,
face.
you've encountered... Yes,
So, what we need to do
I
is
dare
just...
say, Master Avril, that you have found your source.
Oh boy.
Yes, but where?
The
Yeah.
problem is we don't know where he went.
That's how I knew it was in the sewer.
I
Fuck,
suppose we
still
could go
have to get
back.
him out of the sewer.
I suppose we could go back the way we went in the first time, but there's no knowing if he's still
Right.
there.
As Pierce says, we still need to get a map of the sword. Like Brain goes through his bag and pulls one out.
All right, where do we get a map of the sewers?
It like, holds it up.
Thank
I
you.
got one.
Blink, blink.
Thank Rainier.
I'm okay. I don't think we need to fight them or just find where they're coming from and block off their passage.
or blow up. That'd also be preferable.
And Lawrence just does his usual finger snap, like,
I
well, we can deal with that.
would never condone violence, as I'm sure everyone here can attest. However, I would say that blocking off an active parts of the sewer would lead to a plethora of legislative problems, as well as a disruption of the daily life of several Waterdeepian citizenry, and largely, to be believed, hefty fines on all of you. If it is a matter of stopping these things, well,
I say we get back up and we take out the source.
How do we find the source?
yes, I rather agree with Master Sockham in this regard.
We remember where it went the last time when it left.
Yeah, it went through a portal on the wall.
It did not. All
went-
you saw it do was
it went
walk
through-
into another
it went
room.
Oh, right.
It went through a pair of stone walls.
No, it went through a
Stone
door. It
doors.
went through a door, yeah.
Oh, right. I thought it just went into the wall. I was like,
Nope, there was a door there. There was a door there.
and we didn't bother checking.
Nope.
If we go,
I mean, to be fair,
and-
Connie was unconscious at that point.
Yes.
she had been intellect devoured.
Okay. So
Well, she hadn't been devoured yet. She just was unintellected.
wait,
Go
that's
there.
what happened then? Wait.
Yeah.
Yes. That was an elective hour.
Aye, she was one step from becoming.
No, that's in character, Pierce.
Oh,
Ah.
Yeah, we
All he knew was bullshit happened.
yeah. One of those things sucked out your girlfriend's intelligence.
Right. As soon as we're done with this mausoleum thing, we're going to take care of this.
Yes, because the last thing we need is the multiplying.
Forgive me, Master Averil. You are the harrowing adventure here, and I am just a bookshop owner. But if I might, illithids are not to be trifled with by any circumstances.
I mean, if they can create those brain things, I'm not surprised.
Like I said, we should get back up.
We don't need to take them on head on. If we can find where they're headquartered, we can go get reinforcements.
Yes, if I believe I have an understanding of the situation, you'll want to go to Skullport,
Skullport?
Go for it.
a hidden,
Lawrence probably looks a little pale, like, uh-oh.
quote end quote, hidden city beneath Waterdeep. Primary access is through the yawning portal.
And Durnan had told us repeatedly that we're not going in there.
The upside down mountain thing?
Quite, yes. Which means, my friends, you will not stop it at its source, but perhaps eliminating the lieutenant would be enough.
Okay then. So what I'm hearing is rally the portal. Got it.
If you think you are able.
Aye, we'll just walk in and shout, "Who wants to kill an elephant?" See how well that goes.
You are as like to be arrested, or at the very least removed from the premises.
It might be more apt to ask, how do we kill an illithid?
I can actually tell you that. Well, in theory, of course, not in practice.
Fire away, yeah.
They are quite frail in body. I am no stout fighter myself, and I have belief that I could overcome them. Their abilities, however, focus on inborn magical affinity, much like our Miss Gambleson or Master Trench, as well as a separate organ in their head that allows them to manipulate reality in a limited capacity. Yes.
All right.
So it should be easy to dispatch them. We just need to get in close first.
So
Or hit them from a far distance. And she kind of like makes a pew pew bow gesture.
They are competent spellcasters, both in abjuration and evocation.
so anti-magic.
If you have a beholder that is beholden to you, Master Avril, yes. Otherwise, it may prove a bit more difficult.
There's a spell, anti-magic circle.
And there's a matter of getting the creature into the circle.
Yeah, we need to bait them in.
My mom used to cast that. I was grounded in my room.
Maybe a means to disrupt their concentration?
That's an idea.
It will also likely not be alone.
Can do well with that.
I know counterspell.
I really wish Honey could learn Birch's blasted hiccups right now.
Right?
Thank you, Rochelle.
Actually, very helpful.
I'm at your disposal, Master Avril, though I would admittedly prefer not to be present at the time of your certain victory. Yes.
We wouldn't expect you to put yourself in danger, Rashawn. That's
Yeah.
We're appreciative of the help regardless.
And I'm grateful for your understanding, my friends.
There's Gamgee, drag him down.
It is a terrible way to expire, either through the ministrations of an intellect devourer or anything directly. I would spare myself that indignity.
I have heard gruesome things about intellect devourers. Whew.
I've seen them firsthand.
Illithids are a bit more direct, it should be noted. They will simply remove yourself.
I mean, I don't believe there's anyone who's lived to tell us if it's painful or not.
Speaking of intelligence, if I may, on a rather higher-hearted note, Rochelle, do you know where I could find a Mad Dragon brewery?
A what?
Dragon Brewery?
Mad Dragon Brewery.
Not vintage that I'm aware of, no.
Why? What's up there?
Lawrence is, shake his head. Not Mad Dragon, Mad Beard.
Oh! Yes, the Madbeard Middery. I'm familiar with it. Well, not familiar. I don't imbibe often, but I've seen it on my trips to the shops.
What's got your interest?
They have a particular product I'd like to try, and I was wondering if you could direct me to that location.
What kind of product are you getting from a brewery other than?
You're not gonna waltz in there and ask for the strongest thing they have, are you?
Lawrence is laughing a little bit.
Yeah, he looks at Lawrence a little embarrassed about this.
Apparently, they mix potions with booze.
That sounds like
Apparently, it works.
a horrible idea.
That does sound like a horrible idea. What even would you get from there?
Apparently, there's something that works on intelligence.
Pierce actually laughed.
Just get a whole. We should get an entire ton of that and just roll it down into the sewers. That would fix your intelligence problem.
I can't give you a specific address, Master Sockham, but I can get you within bowshot, likely.
That would be wonderful.
Try the Trades Ward near the High Road, where it meets the Castle Ward.
Where is this? Because I'm gonna take note of this. Because potions are useful.
Trades Ward.
They put it up on a map.
Okay, so it's in the Trades Ward.
Trades Ward along the High Road, where it meets the Castle Ward.
So fairly close to the yawning portal.
Okay.
And Lawrence is just
I would have to
tilts his
be
head.
in the area to
yeah,
give you more specific directions.
They have
Potions plus booze.
an alchemical shop that myself and Lawrence visited. Had some potions that could make one more intelligent, but
The name of the
I-
potion shop was RU Draft, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
the shop RU Draft, something like that, has a deal with this Madbeard Brewery.
I've been told as much. Oh, this is the name of the shop. My mistake.
And they will occasionally offer potions. He'll make a concoction, and apparently the brewer has liquor that contains the intelligence potion that can be consumed without repercussion. But it doesn't last as long as the
No,
potion
it
itself.
wasn't as strong.
Oh. Just not as strong.
Just don't drink too much or you'll get reconcussion. Knocks on our skull.
I'm sorry. You're going to. You know what? No, go right ahead. That'd be very helpful.
Figure I get some for me, get some for you, Pierce.
I
know you don't need it, but like, come on.
Lawrence
You're
will
getting
take a
little more
bite.
brain power.
But
Lawrence will take a
here's,
bite and go, here's drunk. Now that I'd like to see.
Well, that's also an ulterior motive. Having a little more brain power might help think things
I
through a little
don't-
more for our smart little
I
lad.
don't know where your head's at. I don't think studying while drunk is a great idea.
the
I
thing is, with that setup, as your intelligence gets more intelligent, you get less and less wise as you drink it.
I will take my notebook back, Connie.
That's fine. That's fine. Neither am I.
Question mark? Who said that? Looking around the room.
That's fine. Intelligence and wisdom were my dumps, so I really don't care.
Yeah, you don't care.
I
And Lawrence takes another bite. Come
don't
think of it, the shop owner was looking for frostthorn and honey.
There was one more thing he was looking for.
trust one. Stairs
There
again.
was.
Isn't
It was.
that-
No, you're right. It was just froststone and honey. I thought there was more.
Looks
Oh, that starts rummaging in my pack. Do I have any frostthorn?
Unfortunately, no.
Damn.
those are like more valuable. They're using health potion.
Exactly so. I bought some recently.
Then I should stock up.
He'll pay well for it. So
Interesting.
Should stock up on that as well.
actually, he did get the list off of the.
Yeah, he said
Uh,
frostthorn and honey, and then he gave you a list.
You know, Lawrence would happily hand that over to Connie because she's the herbalist.
Connie, make a nature check or an herbalism check with intelligence.
Alright. This is much easier to do with an herbalism kit, so I'm gonna do that.
Cool.
Dum-bum. The music for this is great, by the way.
You're welcome.
I never get tired of this theme.
So this is actually the KnightLites theme.
Yeah.
Love it.
I wonder what's
Uh,
our favorite.
I can't hear anything.
So,
It's in roll 20.
Connie,
Uh-huh.
I have good news and I have bad news.
Okay.
The good news is you totally have some froststone that you forgot about. The bad news is when you pull it out, everyone at the table can tell that it's lavender.
Oh,
Oh.
Yeah, I got some right here. Pulls it out. Gives it a little shake.
I don't know if that's.
That smells like lavender.
That looks
definitely
like.
lavender.
Does it? Uncorks it, give it a whiff. Pinches the bridge of her nose. Forget I said anything. Shoves it back in the bag.
I think you need to put some labels on them.
She did have labels on them. The problem is they rubbed off because she doesn't have a kit for all of her stuff.
Mm-hmm.
All I can think of is Connie the label maker.
It was that scenario where
Connie-
like
I'm sorry, Gracie. I'm sure this is funny, but Connie with a label maker is when Pierce comes down one day and the cat walks by with cat on it, and then cat's tail going up its back.
Yes. That would
it's
be
all
absolutely accurate.
It's all true, exactly. And then he goes into the kitchen, and everything has a label on it, even like the spoon.
God, there's
That was
like
absolutely accurate.
Connie with the label maker. He goes. Like even every single piece of clothing in the house has a label on it now. Just
It's shirt, pocket, tag.
shirt, pocket, tag, him, button.
theme,
Collar,
Care.
sleeve.
patch.
There's a super tiny one on one of the on like one very specific bolt in the house, nut and bolt. It's just the names respectively.
Label all the things.
There's a label on the label maker that says label maker.
Yes, absolutely. But yeah, so Connie's got the list. So,
Yeah, got the list.
Pierce is
Yeah.
gonna look at the list too.
You know, the proprietor's named Carl, apparently. He'll pay well for anything on that list.
That reminds me.
Maybe if there was a way to Rashal.
Hang on, there's a lot of noise behind me. Talk amongst yourselves, please.
Well, if I don't have any of this stuff, I'm gonna get it before you give it to Carl.
Maybe if Rashal would be willing to offer his services, we could have him message Rock with sending and ask him to look for these things.
You can also do that.
Yeah, you have the message, don't you?
I don't have that spell.
Oh.
Yes, you do. You got it from Rochelle. I know for a fact you have that spell.
I don't
Message
have
has a limit, according to the handbook.
I don't have it in my book yet, and I don't have it prepped.
Okay, neither does Rochelle.
Okay, fair.
So hurry up and get the money and put it in your book.
I have the money. I'm actually. Does it have a material component?
Also, can someone please remind me to prep my spells before when lunch is over?
It does. Pierce is also going to look to Rashal. I was gonna say something, completely forgot what it was. Actually, when did you say the your delivery was going to be there for your spell components?
I think Rochelle like chokes and looks out the window and coughs, and I think he like starts to get up, and he's like, "It's wonderful that you reminded me, Master Avril. I should probably go and make certain that everything is organized and categorized, and I certainly don't want to impose on the goodwill of Master. I have maybe one more bay scallop," and reaches into the pot and grabs it.
Gotta be one.
Starts shuffling towards the door.
Pierce is gonna follow him because he paid to get some components from him.
I'll make your apologies,
No.
Master Hobbit.
By all means, enjoy your conclusion of your meal with your family, Master Avril. It will be some time before I can organize the delivery for resale. At any rate, but just pop by around sundown, and I should have everything that you require.
Thank you.
I'll be catching up to you just a moment to pick up my transcription, Michelle. I wanted to talk.
Why not come this evening at sundown with Master Avril? I can perform 2 transactions with little difficulty, and that will give me time to sort the incoming delivery without having to multitask.
All right, will do. And there's one other thing I wanted to do if I could.
Of course, but
No, that was me, not Sokka.
give my regards to your mother, Master Parnassus. And I wish you all good hunting in whatever form that will take. He heads downstairs.
See you, Rishal.
I'll see you in a while, Rashal.
Goodbye, my friend.
Alright. Now that I feel like since we're all together, there's something else I'm forgetting to say.
Probably.
Probably. You guys are never together. I'm basically running 4 campaigns.
Cool. Well, it looks like we might be doing a few things together.
Oh, before I forget, what did our contact want the other day?
Safety.
Did they get it?
That was earlier today, not the other day.
Yeah.
Earlier today, not the other day.
That was like 3 hours ago.
Brain function.
Yeah. You asking if they got it, and he looks at Lawrence, and it's like, hopefully, and you'll need to read at your house. Sorry.
What's this about to go in my house?
Wait.
You know exactly.
No, I don't. I know you left with Istrid, but
Wait a
To your
second.
house.
Looking back and forth between Lawrence and Braden.
Please.
yeah, all Lawrence would say is, "I know you left, but not
He's
where."
gonna lower his voice. Please tell me, for the love of God, you didn't give Zentarum the key.
I need let hold it.
... They know where you live?
They know where you live.
Wasn't thinking straight. I was really stupid.
In multiple ways.
Well, in your defense, you didn't summon a flock of crows.
What do you mean in multiple ways, Delta? Not Delta. Fuck.
What do you mean in multiple ways, Braden?
What do you mean in multiple ways, Braden?
Shall you explain, Lawrence?
I mean,
Eyes turn to Lawrence.
And Lawrence is just like, I was flippant. Let's leave it at that.
He done fucked up.
You were flippant with a Zentarum, and they know where you live.
And they'll... Oh boy.
Yeah, which is why some of the payment's going to have to go to re-renovating your house. Or finding a new one.
Yeah.
If I were you,
I would suggest a new one.
Yeah.
Not only would they know where you live, they'd be able to examine the fine minutia of where you live, where the creaky boards are, which windows creak.
I mean, if we're lucky, she'll leave, like Waterdeep.
Yes,
She
but
didn't
who
say.
knows who she's gonna communicate with in the meantime.
Indeed.
I mean, fair.
And you know what? That makes you. You know what makes you extra valuable is you're a part of us. And if we've pissed off the Zentarum in any way, and
You'll
you
be the
go-
first to know.
and you go home one night and then you don't show up to the next day, they got them a hostage.
I mean, let's
That's
not
it.
give them a reason to do that then.
Agreed. I already have Mert down our back at the moment.
So she's just gonna chill there, or what's the plan?
Yeah, what is the plan?
I mean, Lawrence is looking at Braden because he doesn't
Well,
know.
as far as she told me, she's hiding out till she could get out of the city.
I
Just needed somewhere that could be secure.
So she's bugging out.
Yep. Because she doesn't want to be a part of all this. Like gesturing outside.
if she's supposed to be hiding there,
Braden, make a perception check.
Oh god.
I was waiting on that.
Yes, relay.
You fucking wish. When you gesture outside, do you look outside?
Yeah.
There's a hobgoblin talking to Embrick.
Hobgoblin.
Yeah.
Huh.
Sorry.
Okay,
Sorry, I need to double check that. It might be a gnome. Hang on. Hang on.
Another one?
Yeah. Hang on. Gnome. Sorry, not hobgoblin. Gnome. There's a gnome talking to Embrick.
Let him be.
Okay.
It's gnome
As
business
he's
of
like,
ours.
saying, and to get away from all the shit that's happening out there, or what the fuck? And he looks at.
Yeah, the gnome,
that window.
he's a gnome. Apparently he's a deep gnome because he's got, like, purple skin, like green-brown hair. He's got a goatee. What?
Zverkneblin.
Yes. Big hook nose. He's got a bunch of, like, vials on his belt. And he's just, like, talking animatedly to Embrick.
Braden's like just kind of looks and like steps away from the window and sits back down. It's like,
It's out there.
I don't
Lawrence is giving
know.
it to.
There's some there. They're talking to Embrick.
What do they look like?
Description.
Insert description
I
here.
mean, Lawrence would probably call to Avi, just Master Avi.
Avi,
know-
Avi pokes his head in. The dessert's not quite ready yet, my boy. What is it?
Do we know anybody that? And he'd rattle off the description.
Why?
Apparently, he's out talking to Embrick.
Avi goes over to the window, looks out, squints, looks back. Let's see. I will roll. It's only fair. I will roll. Let's see if Avi knows who this person is. Do you have investigation? You do not. So I will make it investigation is an int, right, guys?
Yes, it's
Okay,
in.
I'll make an intelligence saving throw. It's only fair. No. He says, it's not someone I've seen before. A customer, perhaps?
Do you want me to go out and ask? See if it's something I can help with?
If you so wish, but you should hurry back. I've got tarts in the oven, and did you order coffee?
I've been meaning to try it.
Sock on caffeine, this will end well.
Coffee.
And Lawrence will be...
Pierce is-
just raise your finger. I'll be right back.
Would you-
Honey's face can't decide if she's anticipating sock on coffee or dreading it.
Okay.
The answer is yes.
Question: would Pierce have had coffee?
Probably not. It's expensive as fuck. It's
That's
Jolton,
true.
man.
Do we
Yeah.
know what coffee is?
Some of you do.
Azure Edge
Would
does, and I
Pierce
do
know?
because of Azure Edge.
You probably know what it is. You just never had it.
Okay.
Braden's had some.
Yeah,
before
you
all the
have.
works out,
The beans that make you wide awake.
tea's generally more my flavor, but I'd be willing to try a cup of it.
I can provide either, if you wish, but I need to get back to those tarts, if you will excuse me.
And
he
Lawrence
heads-
will duck down the
you head downstairs, Lawrence.
Sock was gonna go with. I wanted to talk to Embrick about something, if that's alright. I tried to bring that up earlier, but
Okay, so that's valid. If you wait for Avi to go back in the kitchen, Lawrence is going to be about 12 steps ahead of you.
that's fine.
Okay. You should be like, excuse yourself, be like, I'm just going to go talk to Embrick with Lawrence, I'll be back. So Lawrence is going to get out there first.
And meanwhile, Braden puts up his hood and is hiding behind, like, staying out of sight watching.
So you're going with Salcom?
No, I'm looking through the window and watching them.
Oh, okay. You're looking through the window. Okay.
Ready to jump out if need be.
What's your passive perception, Braden?
12.
Okay, noted.
Where's the hood when I need one?
So Lawrence, you head outside and you see this gnome, like, talking to Embrick. Embrick's got his back to the door. The gnome is, like, on his other side, facing you. And he does that thing that people do when someone walks up behind the person they're speaking to. He, like, glances at you. Can you make a dexterity saving throw for me, please?
Oh.
Oh, goody.
Here we go.
Okay, I am going to roll against that. Okay. So he turns to you, you open your mouth to be like, "Hey, Master Embrick," and before you can even make a sound, somebody that was behind Embrick, pressed against the side of the building, like, grabs you around your mouth and nose and drags you in the alleyway behind the Seaman Steel.
Ah, shit.
Brayden didn't see shit.
Fuck.
Oh no.
We will find out where Lawrence went next week.
Oh, lovely.
Sockham.
So about splitting the party.
Yeah, Sockham. You head outside maybe 10, 15 seconds after Lawrence. Are you here, Gamzee?
Yes.
Okay. You get outside about 10, 15 seconds after Lawrence does. Make a perception check.
That's why it was important how many paces behind Lauren he was.
Yes, it was. You also do not see shit. You see a gnome talking to Embrick.
You also, wait, Lawrence isn't there either, and he was just in front of him.
He wasn't just in front of him. He went out, like, Sock never saw him.
I thought Lawrence was coming out here.
I haven't seen him. Oh, I was just speaking to, I'm sorry, what was your name? Weird Bottle.
I know.
I figured. Yeah, I figured.
Fuck. Fuck.
Don't
What?
you know? You
What?
never
We
split the
were
party.
just discussing a commission that I had need some new belt buckles. Yes, we're quite skilled at such things. What did you need, my boy?
I had a request of an emergency fix.
Emergency? I'm afraid I'm the only one working the forge today, and I'm rather overloaded. It seems your business is picking up. Master Embrick, I'll leave you to your business. The gnome starts to walk away.
Fuck. Think about.
I gotta resist that thought.
What thought? What thought?
Sockham hearing weird bottle. Are you an alchemist?
You can. He's wearing a bandolier of potions.
Probably any adventurer wears bandolier potions.
Not like this.
Ah.
And Sock doesn't know about weird bottle.
Only
No,
any
I've
part of
told you. Brayden has told the entire party.
Oh, you did, didn't you? Yeah, you
Yeah.
did.
So Shotgun has a reason to go, oh fuck.
Yeah, like
Uh-huh.
just a quick moment of, sir, I'm certain my friend was coming out here. Are you sure you didn't see them?
Oh no.
You're the first one out of the building, I'm afraid. But then again, the dreadful sun makes it impossible to see anything above ground.
Of course, I must have been mistaken. My apologies. Have a fantastic day.
He
Subtle.
walks away. Embrick turns to you, smiles. Finished with lunch already? I hope you saved me some.
I didn't have any, so there's certainly enough for you.
You didn't have any food at all?
He was more focused on the book and the whole situation regarding everyone.
Okay,
You
fair
gave
enough.
her the book halfway through.
You gave it the book more than halfway through.
Yeah.
So she did pass it back at some point so you could read the passage about
Fair.
why he built the mausoleum.
Well, the biggest one of the lot, you should eat something at least. I don't want to be on Avi's bad side any more than I already am, but you said something about an emergency?
It's the shield that you and Avi so graciously allowed me to take with me.
Yes, what about
It's been in poor repair for quite some time, and I fear I may be needing it soon. Gray oozes tend to take quite a hit to metal.
Yes, they do that.
Pretty sure Lawrence gave it back, right?
Who has it on the character sheet?
I've got it.
Then you have it.
He's gonna pull it out and be like, is there any chance you could give it a quick one and quick go?
And takes it, looks at it, flips it over in his hands a few times. Quick is relative, I'm afraid. I can certainly fix it up for you, but Avi's got me on probation, and there's the day's orders and tomorrow's orders, and I could
perhaps it's more time efficient and business beneficial if I buy a new one.
It's certainly not more business efficient, but yeah, well, we have a selection of shields in stock. Your family, I could loan you one until this is fixed up. It won't be as good. This is, frankly, it's our showpiece.
If you are so willing.
Just take whatever you want. Just bring it back.
Certainly.
Looks around. Sock'em. May I call you Sock'em?
Of course.
Did that fellow strike you as weird?
I mean, it's in the name.
There's a conversation to be had about that, but now isn't the time.
He had me... If I didn't know any better, I'd say he was less interested in making a purchase and more about being visible from the street. That line that he fed you about belt buckles, that's not what he ordered.
Master Embrick, Lawrence did come out here.
I assure you no one came out before you did.
I was none but 12 steps behind him.
Embrick looks around. He's not out here.
He's not out here.
You don't
That's the
think...
issue. I do.
Sets his hammer down. And he does that thing where like sets his hammer down and like keeps his hand on it. He says, "Alright. Don't raise the alarm. Let's search the area." And that's the last shot of this week's episode.
Fuck. Fuck. And may I iterate? Fuck.
Fuck!
So about splitting the party.
He done this to himself.
Something
I mean, yes, I did this to myself, but fuck!
something
Don't
this
you
week's
know
episode
you
title.
never split the party.
I
Or
don't
we'll
wa-
never get together and explain what is happening.
I don't like that the NightLites are becoming this predictable.
I mean, predictable is entertaining, but at the same time, fuck!
Oh, you know what?
Chicken butt.
By the way, welcome to Chapter 4.
Oh
Nice.
no!
Ah!
Oh no!
Oh.
What was that about looking us from orbit? Oy.
So,
You know-
I think we need to do some shout-outs, guys. What do you think? Maybe?
What was the question?
Do we want to do some shout-outs, friends?
No.
Nope, I'm out. See you.
Alright, bye! Bye, guys! That's all we have time for tonight. Good night! Treska, give us a
Go
shout-out.
Yeah, hi guys, Trisker here. I'm a mod for Kids channel. I knit soft and fluffy things. I bake soft and fluffy things. So if you are interested in knobs, if you're interested in scarves, because yes, it's getting towards summer. It will be cold again eventually. So if you're interested in something, do let me know.
Trisker, you are a soft and fluffy thing.
Also accurate.
It true. Delta?
Yo, Delta, your resident mad Scotsman. You'll find me hanging about Kit's channel, doing mod stuff, saying fuck a lot, playing a lot of games. If you ever need a hand with something, give me a shout, and I can't help but feel I'm responsible for this predicament.
Gamzee?
As always, I'm Guy Gamzee, the bot in training, getting a little more experience every single day. Thank you so much for coming to the show today, and if ever I'm needed, you can find me here on the Discord, or in DMs, or on Twitter at the Homestuck Homie. And speaking of these places, if you missed hitting the books, or weren't able to get a question out, or thought of one after the show had already ended, please send them to me, and I'll be sure that they're added to our next showing shortly. And as always, have a fantastic rest of your day, and love yourself. You deserve it.
Nightfall?
Hello.
Really?
Yeah, that's about all I got to say aside from I'm Nightfall Kitsune. I am the head of the admin team for Kit's channel. I do emails and stuffs and things, and I'm gonna post something in the notice board shortly. October suggestions will be closing
In like
July
2 days.
1st.
Yeah.
July 1st. So get those in if you have them. And I'm gonna go.
Grace me, like, finish us out.
Hey, I'm Bridge Mila, aka Gracie. I do a lot of art and things for Kids channel, and I also love tabletops. So if you like either of those things, give me a poke.
And for my part, I am the Sharp-Eyed Kitsune, the teller of tales and the weaver of mysteries, the masked bard. This is a channel that is devoted to lore and storytelling, world-building, role-playing, and discussions of those things. So if that's to your fancy, you're in excellent company here, and I do hope that you enjoyed your time with us. I stream every single day that my health permits me to do so, and we're rolling with advantage in 2020, which is 2 chances to catch a given stream, something tabletop-related in the evening, and something video game-related in the afternoon. We're currently working through an expert mode Terraria playthrough with our art team, and we're calling it Terraria Art, with big builds and slow progress, but we're having a lot of fun besides. That'll be back tomorrow at 1 p.m. New York time if you're watching the live show, and the evening slot for Mondays will be devoted to Crown of Fangs as soon as the art is finished. More on that to come soon. For now, I'm going to get out of here, but when I do, I'll be hosting someone. It's someone who I like, someone who I hope that you all will like, and can spread some of the love that was felt here today over in their channel. And check back here, because I'm always hosting someone, and you might find your new favorite streamer that way. For now, as ever, it's time I leave you with these parting words. From myself, my keepers, and those joining me on the stage this evening, to all of you, the regulars, the followers, the newcomers, and the lurkers, whether you're just having a seat by the fire or you've got a running tab at the bar, remember, there's always more stories to tell. And hopefully, I'll see you all in, well, a day or so, as we get back into Terraria Art with a new chapter. Good night, you guys. Thank you so much for stopping by, and hope to see you again soon.